price up front before any work begins. If your well pump is telling you it's not well, let's nip small problems in the bud before you're out of water and in deep, expensive trouble. Told you we were well-rounded. Austin Plumbing, online at teamaustin.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga, good afternoon. Hey, Deb, we got you?
I hit the wrong button. I was talking. Okay, here we go. Oh, my gosh. The wheels are off. Okay, southbound on 43. Backups now from about Silver Spring all the way down through the Capitol Drive area, almost to North Avenue. So watch out for that. Right now, Brown Deer Road to downtown's a 17-minute ride. Southbound 41 slowing down a bit from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Also a 17-minute ride. Westbound 94's got a little pocket of heavy traffic right through the stadium interchange. So add a couple of minutes onto your ride there. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, humid, a high of 90. Friday, sunny, a high of 80. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 80. On Sunday, chance for showers, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is sunny and humid and 87 degrees. Let's bring in our friend, legal analyst Royal Oakes, ABC News, with us from Los Angeles. Thank you so much for being with us, Royal.
Hey, my pleasure. A big day yesterday, of course, and now people are starting to dig into this 45-page indictment against Donald Trump and try to realistically figure out how serious are the charges and is there going to be a trial before next year's presidential election.
So, Royal, one thing that seems inherently different is that the other indicted charges that we've known about so far came either before he was president, the allegations, or after he was president. These are allegations that took place while he was still president. How does that make this inherently different?
Well, it sounds different, and of course it is substantively, but in terms of an impact on the law, probably not so much. And of course, for precedent, I guess if we let our minds drift back to the Watergate era, when Richard Nixon was president, it was alleged that he committed illegal acts as president, covering up the Watergate burglary that he may or may not have approved. I don't think anybody's ever established evidence that he did order it. But then, after he resigned the presidency, he was facing prosecution post-presidency for stuff he did as president, and the only way he was able to escape that fate was because his successor, Gerald Ford, of course, pardoned him. So just because Donald Trump was president when this stuff happened, it wouldn't provide get-out-of-jail-free card or immunity. Instead, they may proceed and prosecute him and try to put him in jail.
Royal, how do you expect Trump to challenge the indictment? What will his defense be?
I think the essence of it is going to be, look, my lawyers told me that I was on solid ground with preparing an alternate slate of electors in various states in case the courts said, yeah, Mr. President, you're right. He also is going to say, hey, it's Professor John Eastman, the constitutional law expert, and Rudy Giuliani, my lawyer who was heading up the team challenging the election results. They both told me it's legitimate for me to urge Mike Pence, the vice president, to send the results back to the states because we felt we had legitimate beefs and objections. So to the extent he didn't really know that he'd lost, and if he really believed sincerely in the legitimacy of his position as a non-lawyer, just reacting to his attorneys, at least two of them, telling him what to do, I think that will be the essence of his position. One problem for him is that he's probably going to continue to insist that, yes, he really won. And people aren't buying that. And I don't think the 12 people on the jury in Washington, D.C. will buy that, especially since people in Washington, D.C. voted for Biden over Trump by 92% to 5%. So it's an uphill battle for Trump. So really it's a matter of his state of mind. If he can convince a jury that he wasn't a criminal, he was just trying to exhaust all his administrative remedies and legal remedies, and he was relying on legal advice, that could be the core of his defense.
ABC News legal analyst Royal Oakes is with us. So if convicted, he could face substantial time in prison. Based on what you know about the law, about his background, about the nature of the charges, is that probable that if he's convicted, he would spend time in prison?
Boy, it's a really tough question because we're in just such uncharted territory. A former president being accused of something, especially in the weirdest of all contexts, former, but he wants to be president again, and his opponent is the guy who appointed the attorney general who arranged for the special counsel to go after him. Bottom line is, when you see the 20 years for obstruction of official proceedings and 5 years for that, as a practical matter, people don't get anything like that. They'll get a few years. And in Trump's situation with no prior record and so on, well, who knows what his record will be if he's convicted. In this case, it's unlikely that he would do any serious time. But of course, from Trump's perspective, whether he's in prison 1 month or 1 year or 5 years, the impact on his presidential ambitions and his life, it's going to be overwhelming and dramatic, whether he goes away for 1 year or for 20 years.
Royal, co-conspirators in this interference indictment, what role do they have? What do we expect for the likes of Rudy Giuliani and others who are considered co-conspirators in these alleged allegations?
Yeah, great question. It's really interesting that special counsel Jack Smith did not choose to name Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman, the law professor, by name. Instead, he named them as co-conspirator 1 and 2, and we figured out from the facts alleged, we know pretty much what that Jack Smith thinks that they did wrong and whether they should be prosecuted, but they're not going to be prosecuted as of right now. And strategically, probably Smith does not want anybody sitting in defendant chairs in the courtroom with Trump, because that would give the jury an option. They could look at the three defendants and say, well, I'm not so sure about Trump. I know that Giuliani and Eastman led him astray and they committed crimes, so we're going to convict them, but we're going to let Trump off. That would not be a happy day for special counsel Jack Smith. So it's no surprise that he's not actually naming them. They're not going to be in the courtroom as co-defendants. Plus, he's got a chance to squeeze them. The strategy is you get the smaller fish to flip on the big fish. Eastman is 63. Rudy is 79. Prosecutor's going to look him in the eye and say, do you guys really want to spend the rest of your life in prison? Because that's what you're going to do when I prosecute you for your role in this. So why don't you just tell me the truth about what Donald Trump knew and tell me that he really knew that he had no leg to stand on. He was just trying to game the system, in which case we'll play ball with you. Donald Trump will go to prison and everybody will be happy except for Trump.
So I'm curious, as these indictments continue to roll in, one of the arguments that they're having is over the timing of the trials. I'd like to know, how do they decide the order of who will hold the trial first and how that all works out? Do the jurisdictions work together? Is it in the order they were filed? How does that work?
Well, to the extent somebody is charged first and then later second, third, and fourth, then theoretically the first one has priority. Theoretically, the first judge would set an earlier trial date. And we've seen that. We've seen the Stormy Daniels trial set for next March. We've seen the Mar-a-Lago documents case set for May. And now probably we'll see this case once the Trump pleads not guilty tomorrow, and then there'll be a scheduling hearing in a week or so. We'll have a new trial. We'll have a trial date, and it'll probably be a few months down the road. Now, there could be some jockeying, because let's say one prosecutor or one judge is really eager to have that trial go first. Well, sometimes there's a conflict. If you've got multiple cases going, as Trump does, something has to give, and there has to be some flexibility. Trump's going to be asking for postponements in all of these cases. He really wants the cases to be tried after the election. He's hoping he will win. If he wins, he could pardon himself from federal offenses. If he wins, he could have his new attorney general try to get the cases dismissed. Wouldn't look great, but he could try to do that. So those are all of the factors in terms of the scheduling issues. But you're right; it could be really thorny and congested with at least three. And of course, we're going to get another indictment out of Georgia, virtually certain of that in the next week or so. So now we're looking at 4 separate criminal trials on the horizon, peppering the calendar next year, in addition to, of course, all of the primaries and the conventions and the election itself. So it's going to be a very busy 2024 for Donald Trump.
ABC News legal analyst Royal Oakes. Thanks for the perspective, Royal.
You bet.
Coming up after the news at the bottom of the hour, Vince Vitrano for the morning show is getting ready to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game. He is awfully nervous. We'll see if we can calm him down. Vince Vitrano with us coming up at 3:38. And why sucking in your belly, like when you're taking a picture or when you're walking down the hall at work or whatever, why sucking in your belly is bad for your health. We'll do that after the news. First time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. U.S. credit downgrades are sinking stocks today. Not a great day. The S&P 500 was off 63 points to close at 45.13. The Dow was off 348, a full percentage point, to close at 32,282. The NASDAQ was off 310. That is 2 full percentage points to close at 13,973. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference. WTMJ's John Mercure here for Town Bank. How often do you check your savings account and wonder if you're actually saving anything at all? At Town Bank, they view banking differently. They want to see you grow your savings account by providing the best CD rates. It's time to stop banking the same way. It's time to start earning more. It's Town Bank, part of the Wintrust family of community banks. Your finances, we know they're a big deal to you, so make sure it's really a big deal for your bank as well. Town Bank offers the latest and greatest CD rates. Call them today, ensure you get their best rate. Town Bank's going to make sure your money is working for you. Town Bank also knows when you're working toward a financial goal that every little bit counts. When you open a Total Access checking account at Town Bank, you get free ATMs nationwide, a $300 bonus just for signing up. They're going to take care of you. They got the best banking solutions and the best customer service. It's Town Bank. To learn more, visit townbank.us or stop in your local branch today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
Down the right field line, this is up and it is going to fly out of here.
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's afternoon news every Monday during the Brewers 2023 campaign.
There'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, John, we can make honorary brothers.
Brought to you by Crest Cadillac of Brookfield. Discover them at CadillacWisconsin.com.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the festival season, the festivals at BBC Lighting are bigger than ever. Our huge showroom is filled with all the latest lights and ceiling fans, including the newest LED styles, crystal chandeliers, table and floor lamps, mirrors, and outdoor lights. And don't forget about our lampshade and repair departments. BBC is a festival of lighting, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. As a family-owned independent agency, customer satisfaction is our first and foremost priority. Our approach is relationship-driven and solutions-oriented to your individual needs and risk management for each customer, personal or business. As one of Wisconsin's top 10 insurance agencies and among the top 5% of agents nationwide, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs, from business, commercial, and employee benefits to individual and family coverages. Ansay & Associates is more than insurance. Ansay & Associates is your personal and business solutions partner. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley.
And I'm Debbie Loziga. We do have some slowdowns along southbound 43 coming in from just before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive, almost to North Avenue. The northbound side's a little bit backed up coming out of the North Avenue area up past Keefe. Southbound 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive, and westbound 94 filling in from about 27th Street through to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid. Slight chance for some pop-up showers and storms, a high of 90. It's 82 degrees in Milwaukee at 3:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a lawsuit filed today calling for the state Supreme Court to throw out the GOP-drawn legislative maps.
The lawsuit comes just one day after new Justice Janet Protasewicz was sworn into office, flipping the high court from a conservative to liberal majority. This suit is just one of many that are expected that could force lawmakers to draw yet another set of maps before the 2024 election. It asks the high court to take the case directly rather than have it work through lower courts, arguing the state legislative maps are unconstitutional. The suit does not challenge congressional maps. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A Glendale police officer now facing charges of possession of child pornography has been fired from his job.
The criminal complaint against Jonathan Engel, who faces 7 charges for possession of child pornography in Waukesha County, alleges he uploaded an image on Reddit, and investigators were able to use the IP address to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived. During an interview with police, Engel stated he had a porn addiction and while seeking videos out would occasionally click links containing child pornography. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office arrested Engel on July 31st. He was fired by the Glendale Department the same day. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Former President Donald Trump due in a Washington, D.C. federal courtroom tomorrow for arraignment in his 3rd criminal indictment, this time over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. ABC's Catherine Faulders in Washington with how that's expected to play out.
There's questions about whether he will be processed. We're expecting that is likely the case. If that happens, he will go inside this courthouse to the basement floor, perhaps be fingerprinted, for example, as he has been in previous arraignments. And then he will take the elevator up to the 2nd floor, where he's scheduled to appear in person before the magistrate judge.
The former president will now be facing his 3rd arraignment this year. It's move-in day at the fair, the Wisconsin State Fair, kicking off tomorrow. Animals who will be shown at the fair are being brought in today. CEO Sherry Black tells WTMJ the grounds are ready to go.
Looks like we're ready. We've been putting all the final touches on, and we're just so excited to open the gates tomorrow.
The fair runs through next weekend. WTMJ will broadcast from the fair tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. The Milwaukee Common Council has unanimously approved a resolution to rename the park space at 30th and Calker on the city's north side to Al Jarreau Park. Jarreau was a prominent jazz artist and Milwaukee native who won 6 Grammys over the course of his career. A public art project being led by area artist Tia Richardson is ongoing in the park. 7th District Alderman Khalif Rainey says he hopes the move will promote the legacy of Al Jarreau and provide an example for children to aspire to. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking #1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at GeisDoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at GeisDoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
It's a city from a fairy tale on the Mediterranean Sea.
Netanya, the city of diamonds.
And in this city of diamonds lived a crazy genius named Moses Hadara.
Moses was a mathematician,
a diamond cutter,
and a bit of a theoretical physicist.
Albert Einstein devised a formula, E=mc².
Albert's formula unleashed the power locked inside an atom.
Moses' formula unleashed the power locked inside a diamond.
Moses began with star facets,
kite facets,
upper girdle facets,
lower girdle facets,
and pavilion facets.
But then a voice told him to add 24 new facets, the Moses facets.
When he cut the final one,
Shazam!
Moses unleashed an explosion of light.
That dazzling diamond is known today as the Kessler 81.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
At Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you own a small to medium-sized business that kept employees on payroll through COVID, you may have a big cash refund waiting for you. The Employee Retention Credit is a tax credit of up to $26,000 per employee. And now, more businesses than ever qualify. The experts at RefundsPro.com specialize in cutting through the red tape of qualifying for this government program. Most of their refunds are over $100,000. Even businesses that have received PPP funds may be eligible. And there are absolutely no fees unless you receive a refund. So there's no reason not to apply. If your business experienced shutdowns, limited capacity, supply chain challenges, or reduced revenue due to COVID, you likely qualify. RefundsPro.com has already helped hundreds of businesses. So don't lose the refund you're owed by missing the deadline. Get started today with a free 5-minute questionnaire at refundspro.com. That's refunds with an S, pro.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano is the host of Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince, thanks for being with us.
Did you see my baseball card?
You got your own baseball card?
Yeah, except you're wearing like a polo and...
Well, because
where's the uniform?
There's no uniform.
What had happened was Dylan Carter, our digital guy here, mocked up a baseball card with me because Pancake and I, who produces our program in the morning, we're out a little soft toss, throwing the ball around, having a catch.
Why?
Just outside the studios here in the
and the concrete jungle that is downtown Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's fine.
Why are you having a little catch?
Because I'm throwing out the first pitch tonight at the Chinooks game.
Really?
Oh, you're going to mess it up.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
man, see?
Yeah, you're going to bounce it. That's what's going to happen here.
Or you're going to hit the backstop on the fly.
Oh, I don't
I'd
like
take
this.
that over bouncing it.
Backstop's okay. A little
Yeah,
chin
right.
music.
You can't.
How are you feeling?
Fine. It had been. It occurred to me too. So backing up, the Chinooks apparently are at the end of their list of people to ask for this.
Stop.
Niznansky was out there the other night doing weather. He said they came to him and said, "Hey, we got nobody for first pitch tonight. You want to do it?" So he was on no notice, right?
So maybe that's better.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because he
Step
didn't
in
have
and fire away.
days to worry about it. So I was super honored they asked. This is Northwoods League. It's a brand of baseball that's really fun. It's so fun for the family to go out and enjoy these things. Like, I highly encourage that on a summer night. Super cool. So really honored that they asked, but it occurred to me, like, I haven't had a catch for a little bit.
Are you going to the mound? You're going to the rubber?
You
gonna
have
throw
to.
the rubber?
You have
We
to.
asked Brewers manager Craig Counsell about that specifically, and he said, "Yeah, I mean, if you now sometimes they don't let you, like
Right.
if it's a major league game or something like that, they don't want you out there." But Count said I had to tow it up,
Okay. That's
Get
full
up there on
60
the
feet,
hill.
6 inches then. Let it fly.
which is longer than you think.
No, the tricky part is the mound. That's what throws you off.
The downward
right? Because
angle.
you're out having a catch here. You're all on level ground.
Right.
But if you got to fire one when you're raised like that, that's a different point of view. You're
Did
not
you
used to
measure
doing
it out here for your catch?
We had a ballpark measure with the
Okay.
feet, but
Yeah, rough
what
estimate.
initially looked to me like, oh, that's about 60 feet. That was closer to about 37.
Oh, wow.
Okay, back
Yeah,
up
that's a
another
big
20.
difference.
And then there was also a you know where we were? We were over by what used to be Boston store here.
Yeah,
It's on
sure.
the west side of the whole Avenue development here.
The new Fiserv place.
Yeah, and there's a couple of stairs there too. So I went kind of on the higher level and put Pancake down the couple stairs.
Oh, so you did try to emulate the mound.
Sort of.
Yeah, that's very natural.
That's
yeah.
good.
Little snapping, little pop in the toss.
Yeah, wow,
Another
nice.
Snap it.
Yeah.
So no, to answer your question, I'm freaked out and I'm nervous. And you've thrown,
understandably.
because you just don't want to embarrass yourself. Nobody cares, really. But you don't want to end
You
up
don't
on
want to embarrass
somebody's.
yourself.
You don't want to
Yep.
end up on TikTok.
Oh,
being
and you
like,
will. If you
of
bounce
the top
it,
10 worst.
We'll make sure people see that.
I know you would. So you've done this.
Yeah, at Miller Park. It was Miller Park.
So
and,
okay, first of all, whole other level of.
Oh yeah.
But they wouldn't let me
thing.
go to the mound either. I threw from in front of the mound, and I was nervous. I don't think I've ever been as nervous in my life, literally. I
Yeah.
was really, really nervous, and it was a sellout that day. There were like 40,000 people there, and I got it there. So I got it there.
Yeah,
So, it's
So
all good.
you were in that grass, dirt
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
Right in front of them.
Yep,
So
right in front of the plate.
50 feet away, maybe
Yep,
45
exactly.
feet.
And it was okay. I was so nervous, though.
Which also, quick aside, and you know me, I'm a lawn guy and whatever, but why can't you go on the mound? Like,
Seriously.
what are you going to do
Seriously.
to damage the dirt that's going to affect
They
you?
usually don't want you on the grass, so it's like,
Right.
come on now,
Yeah.
make
Pick
up your
your
mind here,
poison.
groundskeeper guy.
Because there's just the rubber in the ground. There's not even any
Yeah,
markings
you're
on the
gonna be
mound. What are you
okay.
going to mess up? You've
But
done
so-
this, too.
2003, I did it at Miller Park, and it was the day that Randall Simon got whacked by the
Oh, man.
whacked the sausage.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of a memorable day, but they did allow me to go to the mound.
Interesting.
Brewers weren't as good then.
See, now that and they must have judged you a better athlete.
Oh,
than
I don't
Alex
know if that has
Mercure
anything to
or
do
me,
with it.
And
right?
he is. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
So how did your pitch go?
It was good. Matt Kinney, a very under-known Brewers pitcher, was my catcher.
Yeah, I was going to ask you who caught you.
Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall, very interesting.
Yeah.
So you got an
That was
actual
fun.
catcher.
Got an actual catcher.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I had a
so that was
pitcher
cool.
with like a pitcher's glove on, but I got it there. It was good. It was a.
Hey, he was just glad to be out there.
It might have been called a ball inside, maybe to a
That
left-handed
doesn't
hitter.
matter. Does not matter. You got it there. Did it snap a little bit? A little pop?
He said I had a little tail on it, whatever that means.
Okay, that's fine. But,
Yeah.
but again, that's fine. also, the pressure really is on, especially if you have like some sort of VIP, like if you're catching the president or something.
Yep.
And Counts told us about, I can't remember which. We were asking him, like, what was a memorable first pitch that he was around or whatever, but he was around for when President Bush had thrown out a first pitch.
Yeah.
Not here in Milwaukee. It was a different time. And he just said, like, that's really electric. But also, like, if you're catching the president, I don't care what you got to do.
It's
you
a
make sure the
strike.
president doesn't bounce it, right?
It's a strike.
You got to dive in that. You got to grab it. But exactly.
Yeah, my guy said, thanks for not making me chase it.
Yeah, cool.
You're welcome, man. I'm glad we got it there.
Yeah,
have fun. Have fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah, enjoy it.
And don't throw a strike. We'll all have more fun with it.
No, I'll report back to you.
All
I'm going
right,
to do my
that sounds
best.
You do that. Do your best. Hey, coming up in just a couple of minutes here, Debbie's going to help get you home. And then do you do this? Do you suck in your belly? Sometimes when you're taking a picture, maybe when you're hanging out at the copier machine, when you're trying to impress somebody, do you kind of stiffen up that posture and suck in your belly? Why, that might be bad for your health. We've got that coming up in just a couple of minutes. It is 3:43 at WTMJ.
Bad for your health is radon, John. Come on now. Not just suck it in your belly. Radon's in your home. You got to get it out. That's why I've got my friends at Lifetime Radon Solutions. They helped us out at the Matzik household. That's right. Radon levels in our Menominee Falls home way too high for our liking, and that's not uncommon in the falls. Well, Lifetime Radon Solutions installed a mitigation system. Took them a few hours, and our minds have been put at ease. Radon, it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. Did you know that? Well, give Lifetime Radon Solutions a call. They'll come to your house. They'll do a no-strings-attached, free at-home test. And if you need a mitigation system, they have them, starting as low as $9.95. So take care of your family. Give a call to Lifetime Radon Solutions today. Also visit lifetimeradon.com.
Your home is your biggest investment, and you live in it. So when you invest in it, you want the best. The best windows, the best roofing, the best deck. Where do you look? Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited, you ask? For windows, roofs, and decks? Yes. Siding Unlimited is the best installer of windows, roofs, and decks. They also are the best with siding. Prove it, you demand. Good point. Well, Siding Unlimited has the manufacturer's awards and customer satisfaction history to prove it. In fact, Pella Window named Siding Unlimited their Platinum Elite Contractor of the Year in the entire country 3 years in a row. What's so great about Siding Unlimited? Well, honest pricing, devoted American craftsmen, integrity. You want the best, and Siding Unlimited is it. Windows, roofs, decks, and Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 59 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue. Featuring acts like Kids from Wisconsin, Here Come the Mummies, and Pat McCurdy, Bank 59 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 59 between August 3rd and the 13th. Member FDIC.
Well, southbound on 41, hitting those brakes right from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Once you get past that, you're good to go all the way to the zoo. Southbound 43, heavy from Silver Spring down through the Capitol Drive area. We are also seeing some backups continuing on a little bit from about Fond du Lac Avenue through the Marquette, just bunching up just a little bit. Northbound side slowing down from North Avenue up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid, a high of 90. On Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 80. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 80. Sunday, chance for showers, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is toasty, mostly sunny and 86 degrees. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday as we head towards 4 o'clock. You're very fit. So you're a thin guy by nature, so this might not apply to you. But a lot of people find themselves sucking in their belly to hide that little paunch or that little fat they got going on. Especially when they take a picture. Sometimes people joke like, hurry up and take it. I can only suck this in for so long. I can always only hold it for so long. I do this occasionally. You kind of straighten up your back.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you elongate your torso, it naturally lifts up any little extra you got there, and then you suck in the belly.
Head up, shoulders back, chest out a little bit.
You
there
got
you
it.
go.
So there's new research that shows that sucking in your belly to look more fit is bad for your health. Our abdominal muscles are among the hardest working muscles in the body. They're involved in almost every move we make. They're your core, right? They keep the body stable and balanced, protect our spine. They even ensure that our internal organs stay where they're supposed to be inside there. But certain health conditions, even unnecessarily tensing the muscles during your daily life, can cause the abdominal muscles to become imbalanced. Over time, this can lead to a condition that doctors called hourglass syndrome. I thought, didn't women in the old days, they wanted to have the hourglass figure? Hourglass syndrome is not a good thing. It's a detrimental change in the structure of the abdominal wall. It can cause a visible crease to form in the mid-abdomen if it's done often enough, and can have an effect, a bad one, on the internal organs and other parts of the body. There are a few main causes for hourglass syndrome, and all of them result in this imbalance. All of them result in this shifting of your organs that's not good. So there are congenital conditions that can lead to it, health conditions that people are born with or they develop. Poor posture can also lead to it if you slouch or if you have poor posture. And the other thing that can lead to detrimental hourglass syndrome is sucking in our stomach. It causes that six-pack area to contract. And since we store more fat tissue in our lower abdomen, the muscles at the top of the stomach tend to be more active. So this creates that fold that I mentioned earlier. Sucking the stomach in, according to experts, places greater pressure on the lower back and neck because they're compensating now for core stability. It also, most importantly, if you constantly suck in your stomach, reduces the amount of space available for the abdominal organs to reside. So think about it this way. Think about your abdomen like a tube of toothpaste. Squeezing it in the middle creates pressure at the top and the bottom. So if you suck it in and you're squeezing it in the middle all the time unnaturally, the pressure at the top affects breathing because it's not good for your diaphragm. And in the bottom, it affects where your organs are. So you should not do this.
But
Look fat in that picture.
How long, though, right? I mean, if you're doing this for 5 seconds a day for a picture, or when somebody comes by the copy machine and you maybe trying to impress that person a little bit, okay, I mean, that's a few seconds a day, maybe under 30 seconds a day, spaced out over 2 or 3 occasions.
I think that's not bad.
Nobody's just doing this like all day long, right?
Well, the survey says that especially men, this is much more prevalent among men, that men and men in the workplace sometimes, if they're on their feet a lot especially, spend a lot of their day sucking in their gut. If you're standing or if you're in a setting where you're up and down a lot, then some men do apparently do this a lot because they want it to always look like they're thin, not just when they're taking a picture. So it doesn't get into actual amounts of time. But at the end of the day, sucking in your abdomen, according to experts, can place strain on what's called your pelvic floor. That's what affects specifically the bladder in women, the uterus, and the rectum. And it's not good for you, and you should not do it. They recommend you, 1, lose the weight, or 2, if you're carrying the weight, that you carry it and you just have that little fat jiggling around instead of sucking in your gut.
John, I don't want your pelvic floor ruined because it'll ruin your opportunities to dance.
Nobody wants that.
Exactly. No.
We'd all be cheated.
Out of everything.
I wonder how many guys suck in their gut on a routine basis.
Tony, are you doing this right now?
I'm of the firm belief that if you got it, just let people see it.
Okay.
Who cares?
You wear really loose-fitting clothing, though, Tony. I think you're hiding something back there.
And if I was, I'm proud of that, too. I'm not, but,
I wear intentionally tight-fitting clothing. That's too small.
These studies are just because everyone's insecure because we try to body shame people.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm very much against that.
There's no doubt. I mean, this is a body image thing, for sure.
Can I ask you guys on a very related note here, and I did not prep you for this, there are people who we know that work in this office who are tiptoe people in pictures. Back row tiptoe.
That's interesting. They're hiding.
They want to look taller?
They want a couple, I'm 5'10", really you about 5'8.5". Those people. Yeah, that happens a lot. And I catch people tiptoeing, and I think that's a bigger thing in photos and things. Not bad for your health. Just
That's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Well, or people say all the time, how tall are you? And I know how tall I am. I'm just under 5'9", and I meet somebody who goes, Oh, I'm pushing 5'10". No, you're shorter than me. You're pushing 5'10" in what world?
So pay attention to the shoes, right? So, I mean, now there's all these different things you can do, right? I mean, people are wearing undergarments under their shirt that sort of do the sucking in for you.
Oh, for sure. Women have been doing this forever, right? Girdles.
That's the thing.
Corsets.
But they exist for men as well. And there's different shoes now. And if you play around on the social media space, you've likely seen them. Somebody's standing outside a bar. They're 5'8", and they feel a little bit non-confident in their ability to do what they want to do that night. Well, here, try these on. All of a sudden, they're closer to 6 feet, and then the pretty girl comes out and is like, yes, all right, now we're cooking with gas.
Absolutely.
Those Hoka shoes, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Hoka.
Yes.
I know they're supposed to be super comfortable. I've never worn a pair.
They are comfortable.
But I have friends who are like 5'10". Then they start rocking a pair of these, and we are eye to eye. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you got like 4 inches on thanks to your shoes.
Yeah. I bought a pair of running shoes, not Hoka, but another brand that also has the bigger. I felt like I couldn't run. It felt weird to me.
They're almost too high.
Comfy?
Yeah, they're too high.
They
were light, which was really nice, but it felt too high. I almost felt like I was running in short heels. Like, just give me running shoes, like New Balance.
You bought them.
I know.
What?
I
Did you not try shoes out before you buy them?
No, I bought them online, actually.
Yep, that'll do it.
And I bought them, like, I did all my research, like, this is how much they weigh. That was a terrible move. That was a bad move. Don't buy shoes online. And I still buy shoes online sometimes, but I won't buy workout shoes that I've never tried before online.
Get into Rogan's. You buy one, get one half off, right? They're right down the road from your house.
I'll tell you what, where I buy running shoes sometimes is Kohl's, because you never pay full price for anything at Kohl's, and they have all the regular brands there. So if you go when the shoes are on sale, like I run in Under Armour. I tried every shoe, and I bought really expensive shoes lots of times, and I didn't like any of them. I bought a pair of Under Armours for like $70, and I just like them. They're more comfortable. They're what work for me. I have wide feet and flat feet. So I bought like a pair of New Balance shoes that were like $200, and I did go and try them on, and the guy talked me into buying them. I wore those things like twice, and I felt like I had a $200 weight just sitting in my closet that never got used.
Hey, as long as your knee and back aren't barking after you get off the treadmill, like just stick with what works.
Yeah, because it's so individual. So now I buy these shoes. I buy these Under Armour shoes, and I buy them like 5 pair at a time. Michelle's like, why do we have 5 pair of running shoes?
That's a little overkill.
Well, because I'm afraid that they're going to stop making them. You know how they change stuff? Like one day I'll go on, and I think mine are called the Crescent. The Crescent won't be available anymore.
Yeah, the Crescent
because they
5,
improve it.
and then the Crescent 6.
It's not the same.
And then you want the 5 again.
Yeah, exactly. So now I just buy like 5 at a time. Are you religious about switching out your running shoes?
I am, because my back and knees at 200 pounds or 195 pounds, like I need something with a little structural support to it. So Asics are my go-to.
Yep, I am too. I actually keep track and switch them out. I didn't when I first started running. And I could tell, like, the shoe breaks down, even if you can't see it broken down.
Oh, it does, for sure.
Yeah.
You'll lose the sole if you run on the treadmill a lot.
Yep.
Just the traction on it. But once you get to 400 miles or so, that's kind of my telltale, and then I go to something different.
Yeah, me too. And you're a Rogan's guy.
I am, for sure. The store's great.
Yeah. It is 3:55 at WTMJ. Coming up during the 4 o'clock hour, we've got a couple interesting things coming your direction. A couple great guests. Jason Wilde will be with us talking Packers training camp. Wilde is with us coming up at 4:09. Tori Lowe from 101.7 The Truth is going to take us inside his perspective on the Trump indictments. Tori Lowe will be with us coming up at 4:15. Ann Sayers, the travel secretary, at 4:35. That'll be fun. She's talking August events in Wisconsin. And Major Garrett, the best in the business, CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett will be with us coming up at 4:45 on WTMJ. It's a lot of stuff headed your direction. It is business headlines up next.
Toro Tacos and Bowls, and On Rye open at the Associated Bank River Center in downtown Milwaukee. A fourth concept called Vault Bar is expected to open later this month. EQT Exeter acquires 6 properties in southeast Wisconsin totaling 460,000 square feet. 5 of the buildings are in the Lakeview Corporate Park in Pleasant Prairie, and 1 is at the Grandview Business Park in Sturtevant. And Hibbett plans to open a sporting goods store on Milwaukee's south side. The location is expected to open this year before the holidays. I'm Sari Lesk with Milwaukee BusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Hey, let me tell you about Bella and Baxter, my beautiful corgi dogs. They're fantastic, and they're even better now because Sit Means Sit dog training has turned them into better dogs. They've calmed my house down, which has calmed my wife down. It is absolutely fantastic. Sit Means Sit dog training, great experience, even better results. You can start with a free consultation. We did this many, many years ago. Went in, Matt and his team there, they checked out the dogs got to check out him, and then we went several times, and we have the tools and techniques now to make sure that our dogs listen better. They don't jump. They're quieter. They're not perfect dogs, but now most of the time when they misbehave, it's because we're not doing our job as owners. Seriously, that's what it's all about. Have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Check out Sit Means Sit dog training. It's Sit Means Sit dog training.
Business insurance continues to get more expensive. To share his knowledge on the topic and the impact, here's Jeff Salasinski, VP Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Volatile weather, inflationary pressures, and cybercrime are driving insurance costs up for everyone today. It's important to be concerned with cost, but don't make the critical mistake of buying insurance on price alone. Critical mistakes we see and correct for buyers regularly include policies with big gaps in coverage and not applying discounts and credits the buyer's eligible for. R&R Insurance will get you a competitive price and a policy with all the key coverages and limits. Are you certain your policy will protect you and your business in the event of a loss?
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
With 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge, R&R Insurance will be focused on you and your success. And the best part, we're not for sale. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Finally, the Wisconsin State Fair is here.
You got that right, John. And look, hey, it's Eric Bilstad. Why is he covered in dirt and mud?
Wait, what do you mean, Matzik? I thought we were here working the fair. He's busy rolling around with the pigs.
Come on, dudes. Yeah, working, meaning we have a show on Saturday starting at 2, live from the Bank 5-9 studios.
Oh, good. I'm hungry and I smell bacon.
Battered, fried, and live this Saturday, live from the Bank 5-9 studios. Starting at 2 p.m., it's the Wisconsin State Fair.
Traffic is sponsored by the Racine Zoo's Animal Crackers concert series, live music along the lakefront.
Enjoy live music along the lakefront at Racine Zoo's Animal Crackers concert series. See Lil Ed and the Blues Imperials perform Wednesday, August 9th. Get your tickets today at racinezoo.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Wednesday, August 2nd. Your top story, the new state Supreme Court already hearing challenges.
I'm Greg Matzik. The former VP weighs in on indictment number 3.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Slowing down a bit on 43 southbound Brown Deer Road to the Marquette interchange. It's going to be a 20-minute ride, so watch out for an extra 8 minutes. Slowing down again as you're making your way past the Marquette interchange onto 4394 southbound. Westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard, the eastbound side from about 84th Street through the Stadium interchange as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, humid, a high of 90 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a lawsuit filed today is calling for the state Supreme Court to throw out the GOP-drawn legislative maps.
The lawsuit comes just one day after new Justice Janet Protasewicz was sworn into office, flipping the high court from a conservative to liberal majority. This suit is just one of many that are expected that could force lawmakers to draw yet another set of maps before the 2024 election. It asks the high court to take the case directly rather than have it work through lower courts, arguing the state legislative maps are unconstitutional. The suit does not challenge congressional maps. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
A Glendale police officer with charges pending on possession of child pornography has been fired.
The criminal complaint against Jonathan Engel, who faces 7 charges for possession of child pornography in Waukesha County, alleges he uploaded an image on Reddit, and investigators were able to use the IP address to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived. During an interview with police, Engel stated he had a porn addiction, and while seeking videos out, would occasionally click links containing child pornography. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office arrested Engel on July 31st. He was fired by the Glendale Department the same day. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Former Vice President and current presidential candidate Mike Pence spoke about his former boss, his latest federal indictments today.
Former Vice President Pence at the Indiana State Fair offering his toughest indictment of Donald Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election.
Sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear.
Mr. Pence insisting former President Trump was wrong when he demanded he use powers the vice president doesn't have to send the election count back to the states. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
Congressman Brian Stile asking Capitol Police about surveillance footage from an incident in the Capitol Rotunda involving Congressman Dick Van Orden. Van Orden is said to have cursed at a group of teenage Senate pages last month. Stile oversees the Capitol Police as chair of the House Administration Committee. He tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that he requested input from police due to the footage in question involving minors employed by the Senate. The request came after fellow Congressman Mark Pocan, a Democrat, called on Stile to release footage from the incident.
A ferry carrying traffic across Lake Michigan from Manitowoc has suspended trips indefinitely after a mechanical failure of its ramping system. Lake Michigan Car Ferry, which owns and operates the SS Badger from Manitowoc to Ludington, Michigan, says it has engaged a quick response team of Great Lakes partners to repair this issue as quickly and safely as possible, and they're now at work assessing the situation. The Badger was built in 1953 in Sturgeon Bay and can now accommodate 600 passengers, 180 vehicles, including RVs, motorcycles, motor coaches, and commercial trucks.
Well, the State Fair kicks off Thursday morning. Security top of mind for many after recent incidents at events in the Milwaukee area this summer. 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris tells Wisconsin's Morning News the difference between events that have no problems versus those that do comes down to policies geared towards safety versus attendance.
Sometimes money tends to drive what they do. And so if you want more people, so your attendance will be up this year, at the end, you kind of just come up with ways to get people in the door, but you don't really have the force to really handle a crowd that big.
In June, Greek Fest enacted early closures due to fighting, and at the Juneteenth celebration, shots rang out after the official event had concluded.
A walk-off loss for the Brewers in the nation's capital this afternoon as 2 errors in the ninth crushed the Brewers in a 3-2 loss. The team returns home to begin a 4-game set with the Pirates tomorrow night. And the NFL's preseason begins Thursday with the Jets taking on the Browns. Aaron Rodgers will not play. Jason Wilde joins us at 4:09 with the latest on the Packers.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 4:04.
The golden days of summer are here. More Brewers games, sun-drenched days of tailgating, and exhilarating summer nights are waiting for you at American Family Field. Embrace it all with your crew while Brewers baseball season reaches its peak, because the best days of the year won't be here forever. Make the most of it and plan your game day at Brewers.com today.
Finally, the Wisconsin State Fair is here.
You got that right, John. And look, hey, it's Eric Billstead. Why is he covered in dirt and mud?
Wait, what do you mean, Matzik? I thought we were here working the fair. He's busy rolling around with the pigs.
Come on, dudes. Yeah, working meaning we have a show on Saturday starting at 2, live from the Bank 59 studios.
Oh, good. I'm hungry and I smell bacon.
Battered, fried, and live this Saturday, live from the Bank 59 studios. Starting at 2 p.m., it's the Wisconsin State Fair.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jason Wilde is at training camp. You hear Wilde and Tausch 9 a.m. to noon on ESPN Milwaukee. It's also simulcast in Madison. Is that right, Wilde? You guys are on in Madison too, right?
And Beaver Dam as well. We're huge in Beaver Dam.
Yeah, the Beav.
Indeed.
So, Wilde, we were just doing a segment on how sucking in your gut is bad for your health. It's not good for the organs. It's not good for your posture. It's just not good for anything. And the survey I read said that that was their words, most men admit to sucking in their gut. And not just when they're taking pictures, but when they're strolling around the office, when they want to look good for the ladies. Are you a stomach sucker?
Oh, dude, if you saw the photos that our fans of the show were taking from across the field at practice yesterday, you would know the answer is most definitely no. I don't. Unfortunately for me.
Well, good. You're staying healthy. That's a bad thing.
Oh, very healthy.
Don't do it.
Eating cheeseburgers, but I'm not sucking in my gut, so that's good.
You got a lot of animals at the Wilde house, right? Chasing cats and dogs and everything else you got. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I would love to. I am trying to get in better shape. Sean Ryan, who is the Packers' third-round pick last year, I spent some time with him earlier this week. And remember, he's kind of the latest in the long line of third-round picks that haven't been very good. Last year, he played one snap all year on, field goal protection. Then he was popped for performance-enhancing substance in one of his supplements and was suspended for the last 6 games. And he has completely revamped his diet. He went to UCLA. He used to eat at In-N-Out Burger and Jack in the Box all the time. Now he's cut all that out, and he's eaten much healthier, as he likes to say. I'm still fat. I'm still an offensive lineman, but I'm not as fat as I used to be. And now he's giving himself a chance to maybe make this roster and be a key backup on the offensive line.
You hint at something here, Jason, that we really haven't talked to you about, and that's younger players who try like mad to sort of make their mark doing something. I remember last year it was the receiver. Romeo Doubs was outstanding in the early going and sort of a darling of training camp. Is it too early to sort of pick out a player or two, a rookie or second-year player that has kind of raised your own eyebrows?
Yeah, no one has done what Romeo did last year. Romeo Doubs, from the rookie minicamp to OTAs to the mandatory minicamp to the start of training camp, he made one play a day. He jumped out every single day. And, I would love to have seen what his season would have looked like last year had he not had that high ankle sprain. But, no, there's nobody that's done that. Now, Jaden Reed has flashed a few times, the second-round wide receiver for Michigan State. There's been a couple of moments where Lucas Van Ness, he threw Josiah DeGuara 5 yards, like it was a bad beer commercial or something. That was impressive. But, the guy that flashed yesterday is actually a second-year guy who didn't do a whole heck of a lot as a rookie, and that's Devontae Wyatt, the defensive lineman that they took with the second of their 2 first-round picks a year ago. But the phrasing of your question, Greg, is right. It's still really early. But no one has done what Romeo did last year, and that's what I think made what Romeo did so special.
That kind of leads me to the tight end question, right? So if for whatever reason, and I'm sure there are many, it's tough for rookie tight ends to sort of come out of the gates flying. Woo, that the next rookie tight end who makes an incredible impact in the league might be the first in the last several years. It's hard. And the Packers have a couple of them. It's one of those positions I look at, Jason, and say, boy, you'd love to have that solidified for Jordan Love. What a great opportunity for him to settle in with a gifted and experienced tight end. Well, he doesn't really have that here. So I guess I wonder about that position and if they might go knocking on the door of Mercedes Lewis at some point.
Well, I know the head coach would love for them to call Mercedes Lewis. He and Aaron Rodgers can arm wrestle for him, I guess. But no, you're exactly right. And look, they are doing everything they can to make the fast track approach with both Luke Musgrave and with Tucker Kraft. When they go 2 tight ends in their first team offense in 2-minute drills or red zone drills, those are the guys that are out there. It's not Josiah DeGuara. It's not Tyler Davis very often. So they're trying to fast-track those guys. But, again, Lucas Van Ness, imposing, or Luke Musgrave, imposing, athletic, fast, but inexperienced. He played 2 games at Oregon State last year. So he has not done anything that's really jumped out at me to this point.
Jason, you spent some good time with Jordan Love yesterday outside of the laundry hamper, right? Is that where he's doing his press conferences these days?
Yeah, and it's tough to get a good spot if you don't get there early. So I'm right behind him. I'm in all these video clips. People are pointing out my receding hairline. Apparently my minoxidil spray isn't working well enough. It was not a good position for me to be in. I'd have been better off in the laundry.
I was going to ask if you could get in, or is Red Beatty in there? He might be.
So Tausch's big idea, and I mentioned this while we were waiting for Jordan to start, was he wants me to go inside the laundry bin and then pop out of the top like a jack-in-the-box when it's time to ask questions. I think I've got a pretty good rapport with Jordan, so he might get a kick out of that. At the same time, there is a limit to how much of a butt of a joke I'm willing to go, and the idea of having sweaty, stinky football player pants and underwear and towels after they've showered being dropped on me while I'm waiting for Jordan to get through the laundry hamper, I'm going to have to pass.
What's you said there's a limit of how far you go. What's your limit? Like $100 to your favorite charity, or what are we talking here? Because this sounds awesome.
I got a lot of great charities that I proudly support, but if I'm going to put myself in that position, well, you're giving the money to me, Tony. You're not giving it to the charity.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was trying to set you up to do some philanthropic work here, but if you want the $100, maybe we'll start at 50, and let's go there.
We're gonna have to get a lot higher. I love Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. I love the ASPCA. I donate to a bunch of charities every month. But if I'm going to have jock straps dropped on my head, I'll send them different money. You're going to have to pay.
I bet we could raise $1,000.
Well, hang on a second. Do people even wear jock straps anymore? The last guy I remember seeing wear a jock strap in the Packers locker room was Evan Dietrich Smith.
That's a great point. It leads to my favorite story. I was just telling this the other day. Antonio Freeman is one of my all-time favorite players I covered. We had a great working relationship. We stay in touch to this day. But like in the 97 or 98 season, we started a conversation about getting off press man jam coverage. And I asked him, what are the keys to doing that? And he was in the process of disrobing from practice and getting ready to shower. So by the time he reached the point where he decided he was going to demonstrate, all he had left was his jock strap. So try and picture a young Jason Wilde, eager reporter, having Antonio Freeman demonstrate wearing only a jock strap. He's grabbing my shoulder. He's pulling my arm. He's pushing me in the chest, giving me all the tips to get through jam coverage. Scantily clad, to say the least.
Oh, that's great stuff. Jason Wilde, ESPN Milwaukee. We didn't even ask you to grade anything related to Jordan Love today. We gave you a break.
Well, they had the day off, and now I get to end with that image in your head. So it's a win for everybody.
That's fantastic. Right. Hey, Wilde, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
It is 4:14 at WTMJ. John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Going it alone with investment and retirement planning, it's not a great idea. It's time to have a talk with Annex Wealth Management. There's just too much at stake. Meeting with Annex is an easy thing to do, and you're under no obligation. If it makes sense, you move forward. They want you to know the difference. In a time when insurance sales are disguised as financial planning, working with a fee-only fiduciary is a breath of fresh air. I know the difference. I've known for years that Annex operates as one team. In-house financial planning, investment, tax, and estate teams, they're all in-house. They're all local. And Annex makes it convenient with branches across the WTMJ listening area. And if you want to meet online, that's no problem either. That's where Annex Everywhere comes in. Check out Money Talk, the Annex Wealth Management Show, Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ. It's a great way to learn more about what they can do for you. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button, and schedule your own appointment today. That is Annex Wealth Management. By the way, Dave Spano, the main guy at Annex Wealth Management, will join us live from the Wisconsin State Fair at 4:45 on Friday. That's going to be fun. Annex Wealth Management, fee-only fiduciary.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Let's face it, selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showing your home to strangers, the months it takes to get to closing. And then what do you do with the 20 years of belongings you've accumulated? There's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation, fair cash offer and close on the day you choose. We buy your home completely as is, no repairs whatsoever. Take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback.
Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law is the local veterans benefit claims law firm. They're now accepting Camp Lejeune claims. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Northbound 41, we are seeing some delays now from about Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Swan Boulevard. It's kind of a hefty ride there. The southbound side slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43 slowing from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keep, with the southbound side slowing mainly from Capitol Drive down past Fond du Lac Avenue. Back on the brakes from the Marquette interchange, does not really let up until you get past Chase. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid, a high of 90 degrees. The Tori Lowe Show is 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. I love it. It's a great show. Tori Lowe is the man. He's with us live in the studio. Tori, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank y'all for having me. I always love coming through. 620. Hey, it's always a powerful conversation.
So before we get into it, Tori and I were guest bartenders last week. And Tori's, I don't know what I'm doing bartending. I don't know what kind of drinks I need to make. Like, well, all you have to do is
I've
tap
never
beer.
bartended in my life.
We'll be in good shape. So we were tapping beer at a charity event at Broken Bat Brewing last week. We had a good time together.
That was a great event.
Oh, look, he helped me out.
We had fun.
Thank you.
He's a helper.
Definitely. And he ran the cash register.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to pour, how to make a great pour.
You did. You absolutely did.
The big news this week is that Donald Trump has been indicted. He faces 30 years in prison if convicted of these charges. And it's just piled on all the other things he's accused of. When you heard this news come down yesterday, I know you talked about it today on your show. What's your reaction? What are your takeaways from this latest part of the Trump saga?
I'll tell you this. When he first got elected, he said he was going to send them to jail. Hillary Clinton, lock up Hillary.
Lock her up.
He never did that. So now Biden's in power, and they're trying to lock him up. So a lot of people forget that when he first, ran for office, all of the talk about locking him up, that he never did. And I think that now they locking him up. That's how I feel about that. Plus, I think that Trump now, it's shocking that he's still running for president with all of these court cases, and lawyer fees. I'm interested. I'm interested in 2024.
To me, what's crazy is not that he's running because he's a narcissist, but that if you add up his percentage in the polls, it is greater than all the other candidates together. I don't understand what Republicans are thinking about, because there are other qualified candidates, and this guy is still like dominating the field with all this baggage. I don't understand it.
Well, this is my opinion. I feel that if we want to get justice reform, if Trump gets in office, we're going to get some justice reform. Not because of George Floyd, not because of the things that we was talking about. He's going to have to do a lot of executive orders to undo what they're doing to him.
To keep himself out of prison.
So we might get some justice reform out the deal. That's just me being comical. But, hey, I'm here for it. I got the popcorn and soda. I got the popcorn and soda because one day it's Trump. Next day is Hunter Biden and Joe Biden.
Yep.
Cocaine in the White House. Things like that. It just seems like if it's 2023 right now, and we're all over the place politically. I've never seen this type of climate before.
And people wonder why, out of those who live out of country, look at our political system and say, dude, what's going on
What are you doing over there?
Right.
You're the leader of the world.
Out
What
of
are
the
you
country,
doing?
and they're trying to figure out, so how does politics work in the United States? I'm like, it really doesn't. The opposite of Congress is progress. That's kind of my response to him.
Tori Lowe's with us live in the studio. You brought another story to our attention. I want you to give us the basics of the story that you texted this to me a couple of minutes ago.
Well, I texted you this story about this St. Louis lieutenant that was running for police chief, and he ended up saying that he was discriminated against. Colonel Michael Sack said he was discriminated against, racially discriminated against, but it was a white police chief that got the job.
So there were 4 guys running, 2 black, 2 white. The white guy was the interim and did not get it. Another white guy got it, and then the white guy who didn't get it said it was racial discrimination, even though another white guy got the job.
I think he really understands the term and how it's supposed to be applied.
I just don't. Is he colorblind?
I don't know.
I don't understand this story.
But it leads me. I want to ask y'all a question. I mean, since he threw it out there, can whites be discriminated against, racially discriminated against in America?
Come on. Yes.
Absolutely.
They can, right?
What I'm saying is white people got a lot of the power on a lot of the infrastructure ideas, right? So it's a white guy at the top. So if they're being racially discriminated against.
Well, in this case, I don't understand it. But in
I
general.
don't understand it in this case, but he brought the ideal out there.
Yeah, he did.
That a lot of whites feel that they're being racially discriminated against.
Well, I think a lot of whites feel that with quotas or with some inclusion and equity policies, that if you're white but you're the best person for the job and an organization has decided that they want to diversify, which I think is a good thing, that a candidate who's less qualified may get the job because they're the right skin color. I think there's the potential for reverse discrimination.
I can see where they can feel a certain type of way. But wouldn't the guy who owns the company, the white guy, is the one that's making the decision?
Well, sometimes those orders come down from way above that person, right? So you just think about the media business, right? And John, you worked in TV for a number of years.
Right.
Watch the TV news. It's almost like a caste. Right, where it's like you have the black anchor next to the white anchor.
I got to have one black weather person. I got to have a Hispanic sports person,
just to make it diverse.
Exactly.
Yes.
So and it almost feels like, not that they aren't talented, but I am sure of it that there are plenty of white people whose resume was maybe stronger than somebody else who got the job.
Well, for years, many times in a Western culture society, a lot of the racists felt like they couldn't even get in these rooms due to the fact that they were being discriminated
against. And that was true.
Now, it seems like in the last couple years, you get this talk, hey, I feel like I'm being racially discriminated against, and white people are saying that. You know, this conversation is starting since 2020. You know,
let me ask you the same question. Do you think white people can be discriminated against on the basis of race?
I think white people got to deal with a lot of classism. You know, I think that, you know, there are rich whites, there are poor whites and things like that. But when you start getting into the discrimination and the things like that, and many times the owners. Now, let's say it's a black man that owns a business, and he owns it straight out, and he's employing a white person, and then the white person is debunked by a black person. I can see that maybe that could be the case. But when it's a white owner and they're making the decisions and the company may be majority white, I don't see how that can.
Well, I think white people can discriminate against white people. I think if you're the chancellor at a university, you're a white dude with gray hair, and you run the university, you may want it to be more diverse. You may want to hire faculty that is more inclusive. And I think you could discriminate against a white person, even if you're a white person. Do you think black people can sometimes discriminate against other black people on the basis of race?
Well, I think that black people can, what we call hate on each other, you know, like, I don't like you, so I'm not going to allow this to happen. But racism has a structure. It has a power structure. So in order to be racist, you got to have the complete power to make the decision. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I believe you can be bigoted towards somebody. Bigots don't have no power. Bigot is like Archie Bunker.
Yep.
You
Just
know what I mean?
ugly.
He's sitting on the couch. I just don't like you. No power. You can walk away from that. But something that's racially discriminatory, it has a structure. That person has a lot of power to determine a lot of decisions about your livelihood, where it's a dominating idea right there. And I think that many times in the workplace, when I go into companies, it's white owned. You know, white people own the ideas. So, and then the majority of some of the ideas are majority white. So when you talk about the maybe 10% black that didn't get the job or not, I think it's a frivolous argument, you know, many times. You know?
I still don't get the story of St. Louis, though.
I don't
white
get
dude
that.
loses a job to another white dude and says it's racism. I do not understand.
That's why I saw in the story, I was like,
that's crazy.
Because we talk about discrimination in America and things like that. That's a huge discussion. But now I'm seeing more whites feeling like, hey, I didn't get this job because I was white.
Yeah, I'm seeing more of that too.
I think that's interesting that we can, you know, bring that up and talk about it in 2023 because I've never seen it as much as I'm seeing it now.
The Tory Lowe Show is 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. Tory, thank you so much.
Hey,
we appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red today. The S&P was off 63 points. The Dow is down 384. That's a full percent. The NASDAQ off 310. That's 2%. And the Russell 2000 also down on the day. It's time to calibrate your plan. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
We want to decrease your pain as fast as possible. When we inject our powerful, FDA-approved anti-inflammatory and cushioning medicine precisely guided to the root of your pain, in most cases, relief in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees is a reality. For those who go through our entire process, we can very much control and reduce your pain while increasing your quality of life. Thousands of Rejuvenex patients maintain their pain relief with semi-annual to annual treatments, proven to reduce inflammation, to make pain a lot more bearable. Some providers may charge up to $8,000 for similar treatments. At Rejuvenex, because we're in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, your out-of-pocket expense could be as low as $400 or less, or nothing at all. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, where you can find pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
What's that sound? That's the sweet sound of you, small business owner, not having to worry about cybersecurity. Sounds nice. U.S. Cellular is offering cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99 per line. Does that include protection from phishing? Of course, unless you mean like the kind. Get cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99. U.S. Cellular, built for business, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing. When you own a well pump, air spitting from the faucets, a decrease in fluctuating water pressure, along with silty, gritty, slimy changes in water quality, are all symptoms that your well pump isn't well. At Austin Plumbing, we're well-rounded plumbers. I say that because we're one of the few companies around who can capably diagnose and repair all the symptoms related to well pump and water system problems. You know when your car needs service, right? Maybe it makes unusual noises. It sputters, jerks, seems weak, or stops altogether. That goes for your well pump too. We have all the special equipment needed and the master know-how required to electronically pinpoint the exact cause of your well and water issues. And we'll give you a price up front before any work begins. If your well pump is telling you it's not well, let's nip small problems in the bud before you're out of water and in deep, expensive trouble. Told you we were well-rounded. Austin Plumbing. Online at teamaustin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Weisgerber's Golden Mast Inn, your place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Nothing better than a Friday fish fry with breathtaking views of Okauchee Lake. Enjoy cod, walleye, or lake perch at the Golden Mast Inn. Learn more at goldenmastin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We got a problem along 43 southbound, just south of Silver Spring. We've got an accident with the right lane blocked, so that is going to be affecting your ride quite a bit. We're at 28 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. We've also got a crash on southbound 41 right at Hampton Avenue, off on the right shoulder, so just watch out for that. The northbound side a little heavy from about Blue Mound Road all the way up past Swan Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight's going to be partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid. A slight chance of some pop-up showers and storms throughout the day. The high will be 90 degrees. It's 84 degrees right now in Milwaukee at 4:30. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a new lawsuit is calling for the Wisconsin Supreme Court to throw out the GOP-drawn legislative maps for the state. The suit alleges that the current lines are unconstitutional and create more Republican seats unfairly. Mark Gaber is with the Campaign Legal Center. He says Wisconsin voters are not being represented.
The right to have a free government that is elected with the consent of the governed and not with the consent of a legislature that happened to win 13 years ago.
The suit coming just one day after the state Supreme Court flipped from conservative to liberal majority with the swearing in of newly elected Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasewicz. Republican Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu accusing Democrats of coming to collect from the newly elected justice. An apartment fire in Greenfield burning this afternoon. Several units appear to be a total loss after an apartment building caught fire near 61st and Cold Spring. Our partners at TMJ4 News are on the scene. Their crews say at least 8 windows are torched by the flames, which drew a response of several units from the Milwaukee Fire Department. Recovery efforts are underway at Lower Namibin Lake in Waukesha County. Crews are searching for a man who flipped over off of a kayak on Tuesday evening. 2 children were also with the man. They were able to grab onto the kayak and were rescued, but the man still hasn't been seen. It's now a recovery effort rather than a rescue. Glendale police officer with charges pending on possession of child pornography has been fired.
The criminal complaint against Jonathan Engel, who faces 7 charges for possession of child pornography in Waukesha County, alleges he uploaded an image on Reddit, and investigators were able to use the IP address to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived. During an interview with police, Engel stated he had a porn addiction and while seeking videos out would occasionally click links containing child pornography. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office arrested Engel on July 31st. He was fired by the Glendale Department the same day. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
It's Move-In Day at the fair, the Wisconsin State Fair, debuting tomorrow for 2023. Animals who will be shown at the fair already being brought in today. CEO Sherry Black tells WTMJ the fairgrounds are all ready to go.
Looks like we're ready. We've been putting all the final touches on, and we're just so excited to open the gates tomorrow.
The State Fair runs through next weekend. WTMJ is going to be broadcasting from the fair starting tomorrow, including Wisconsin's afternoon news. Our coverage will be beginning at 9 a.m. The Milwaukee Common Council has unanimously approved a resolution to rename the park space at 30th and Calker on the north side to Al Jarreau Park. Al Jarreau was a prominent jazz artist and Milwaukee native. He won 6 Grammys over the course of his career. A public art project being led by local artist Tia Richardson is ongoing in the park. 7th District Alderman Khalif Rainey says he hopes the move will promote the legacy of Jarreau and provide an example to look up to. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 4:33.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Sidex. Sidex is doing our bathroom project at home. They are transforming and upgrading our current bathroom space. They do tub and shower conversions. It is Sidex. The best products, expert installers. I just trust them in our house. At Sidex, you know what they believe? You never do a project more than once, and that's kind of what they live by. Family owned since 1988. The dad, Sanford, passed away in 2021. His son, Joe, is fulfilling his legacy by doing the best bathroom upgrades in the Milwaukee area. Streamlined, easy, efficient. It's Sidex. They do it right the first time. It's Sidex. S-I-D-E-X. X like excellence. It's Sidex. They're doing the project in our house right now. Let them do your project. They'll treat you like family. It is Sidex.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher.
Boy, you just never know when or where you're going to pop up. This time, it's my house.
Can I come in?
You're already standing in my living room.
Ah, Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
Oh, yeah. It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Heads up, here comes that wasp again. Incoming.
Shoo! You need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens. They fit inside the actual window and protect you from nature.
Okay, now that's just brilliant. Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
You got anything to drink around here?
Yeah, just go right ahead and make yourself at home, I guess.
Ooh, root beer.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, bundle and save. Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, August 8th, live at Fiserv Forum. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Presented by FPC Live.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We are joined by the travel secretary. She is Ann Sayers. Ann, good afternoon. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. This Wisconsin summer's going so sweet. It's been good. In August, we really get things cooking, don't we?
My head absolutely spins in August. There is so much to do. We are hard at it. I have lots to share with you today.
Well, I went to college in Oshkosh, Ann, so occasionally my head would spin after a trip to Appleton. Let's go out there and hang out for some live music.
One of my very favorites. So this was recently heralded by Rolling Stone magazine. Mild Music is celebrating their 10th anniversary this weekend. The Appleton Music Festival brings in up-and-coming musicians and bands from all over the country. It's happening August 3rd to the 6th. Mild Music acts as a staging ground for emerging artists. They show off their talent. It's over 4 days. A mile of the city's downtown is just transformed into this massive music venue. There's about 200 artists that you can catch, all the genres, indie, folk, bluegrass, roots, and more, 40-plus venues. And the cool thing about it, which there are many, but it's nearly entirely free, and every artist performs original music.
Free is good. We love free, Ann. Free is always good. The Wisconsin State Fair, we're broadcasting live from the fair. It's one of my favorite things to do all year long. The people watching's incredible. People from around the world come to Milwaukee County. Tell us about the Wisconsin State Fair.
Exactly. A beloved summertime tradition. There's 11 days of fun planned. It's August 3rd through the 13th. Enjoy dozens of free entertainment stages. This includes live music, variety shows, comedians, other performers. So that makes it a great value. But there's also the high-flying rides, exciting games, thousands of animals, endless family activities, contests, vendors. Classic Wisconsin culinary delights, of course. No trip to the Wisconsin State Fair is complete without the iconic cream puff. They've sold that at the State Fair for 99 years. And if you can believe it, nearly 400,000 cream puffs are consumed each year. It blows my mind.
I think we have that many in our studio today.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good for you. I'll be right over. So be sure to stop by the Travel Wisconsin booth while you're there. We're always in the Wisconsin Products Pavilion, and Travel Wisconsin is actually sponsoring a promotion on Friday. It's Celebrate Wisconsin Day. Visitors with an out-of-state ID get 2 tickets for the price of 1. So that's a really good deal if you have any friends or family visiting from out of state.
And we want to connect with you. Are you going to be at the State Fair at all?
I am, yeah. Should I find you?
Yes. Let's. I'll work with your people, and we'll get you to come to our booth. We have a great location. It would be fun to talk to you out there.
Love it. Let's do it.
Hey, let's go to Eau Claire County. Eau Claire is a great place, northwest Wisconsin, and the artful side of the chainsaw can be viewed. What's this all about?
Yeah, well, you know how some artists use paintbrushes or pottery wheels as their tools? Well, this month in Eau Claire, they're using chainsaws. The U.S. Open Chainsaw Sculpture Championship is being hosted August 10th through the 13th. You can marvel as artists turn rough timber into beautiful artwork. They're skillfully crafting wood with these chainsaws and other high-powered equipment. The event attracts wood carvers from Wisconsin, other states, and actually some other countries as well. The sculpture contest takes place in Carson Park, that's just outside of the Wisconsin Logging Museum. And while you're there, definitely check out that museum. You're going to learn about the history of the industry and explore an authentic reproduction of an 1890s logging camp.
Ooh, that sounds super cool. And Wausau, I think Wausau is so underrated because they have so much good stuff in the winter and the summer. Tell us what you want to highlight in Wausau.
I'm with you. I love it. It's Wisconsin's longest running blues festival. It is August 18th through the 19th. It is the Big Bull Falls Blues Fest. Try that 3 times fast. It's a beloved tradition set in a one-of-a-kind location. So get this. It's a music festival that takes place on beautiful Fern Island that's in the Wisconsin River. The island is just minutes from downtown Wausau, but it has this, secluded, natural feeling. It's tremendous live blues music is going to fill the air during the evening, Friday, August 18th, all day, Saturday, August 19th. There's food and drink sold on site, so there's no need to miss any of the acts. The Big Bull Falls Blues Fest operates a free shuttle that picks up and drops off festival goers at many locations, and it actually stops at several area hotels, so that's perfect if you're visiting Wausau for the weekend.
And if we see you at the fair, or when we see you at the fair, can we have something pulled aside for you to try? Is there a food item we can help arrange for you?
I guess surprise me?
Okay.
Ooh,
I like
all right.
that.
We're good at surprises.
Absolutely. We'll have something there for you, I promise.
Okay, sounds great. I'm a little nervous. But
Yes,
okay.
you should be. Last year, John ate a scorpion.
And
He
it wasn't
hasn't,
great, Ann.
He's still not right.
It was bad.
No, I'm not eating. No.
We won't do that to you. No, we won't do that to you. It'll be a big fuzzy caterpillar. No, just kidding. It'll be fun and
a fuzzy
safe.
one, at least.
It sounds fun.
Start your getaway at travelwisconsin.com. She's the travel secretary, Ann Sayers. Ann, always good to catch up. Thank you so much.
Same, thank you.
We are sponsored by Travel Wisconsin on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. travelwisconsin.com.
Breakthroughs aren't just for medical journals. They're to help people hold their grandbabies for the first time. Expertise isn't just for awards or recognition. It can be what gives people the best chance to walk again. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, people are the driving force behind everything we do. So we never lose sight of what's important. And we never forget who it's for. Because in the end, we're people helping people. That means every breakthrough, every clinical study, every interaction is to help people like you, your family, and your neighbors be the best they can be. We do everything possible.
Yep, thank you.
Because we see everything possible in you. To find out how compassion motivates world-class care, visit Froedtert.com.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue. Featuring acts like Kids from Wisconsin, Here Come the Mummies and Pat McCurdy, Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 3rd and the 13th. Member FDIC.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Analyzing the best of the diamond from every degree. Brewers 360. Your comprehensive look at all things Brewers, on and off the field.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up!
Hear from Brewers reporters, announcers, and members of the front office every morning on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. It's Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Well, looks like things are slowing down along southbound 41. We have an accident right about at Hampton Avenue, off on the right shoulder. That's going to be adding to your delays. Also slowing down on 43 southbound. We did have an earlier accident around Silver Spring, but that has been picked up. The delays have not, though. We're still seeing delays from Good Hope Road all the way down past Hampton Avenue. You'll be back on the brakes right through the Marquette interchange onto 4394. Northbound 43 also slowing down right out of the Marquette all the way up past Keefe. If you happen to see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Rediscover the road at Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Discovery. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, hot and humid, a high of 90. It is currently 83 degrees. Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. He is the guy in charge of the Takeout podcast, the creator and host. His book is The Big Truth, which just seems so relevant as we talk about all these things related to former President Donald Trump. Major, thank you so much for making some time for us this afternoon.
John, sorry I couldn't be with you on our normal time on Tuesday, but as you know, and as I know, and as the country knows, I was a little bit busy yesterday afternoon, so glad to be with you today.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, too. I looked up, and I saw you handling the breaking news as these indictments came through. I saw you on CBS on the big TVs in here, and that's what I want to start with, asking you about the indictments. These feel different. These alleged actions feel different, Major, than what we've discussed in the past with the other indictments. How do these differ? Are these more serious? How do you distinguish what we are dealing with now?
So let's take them in the order of the indictments. Lots of people, including those who are not fans of former President Trump, don't wish him well politically, have problems with the indictment filed in Manhattan by the Manhattan District Attorney. A stretch legally. Is that a case you would really bring against somebody else who was not somebody like Donald Trump? Is that really the case to bring against a former president? Lots of people don't believe it is. The second set of indictments about classified documents. Classified documents are a serious business. The United States has a long history of prosecuting people who mishandle them intentionally, and there is certainly a fact pattern that suggests the former president had them. That's clear. May have mishandled them. We don't know, but it certainly looks like he mishandled them and certainly did not act truthfully in his conversations with the federal government about how many he had and what their disposition was. That's chargeable for sure, no question. But it gets slightly cloudy when people say, whoa, Vice President Pence had some documents. And when as a senator and a Vice President Biden had documents, isn't it all kind of the same? And does this really rise to something? People can come to different conclusions, but it's clearly a chargeable offense. This is utterly singular, John. And it does feel different because we as a nation were witnesses to part of what happened. What did we witness? We witnessed January 6th. And there are those who are rallying to the former president's defense saying, oh, he was just using free speech, exercising free speech rights. That's not what the indictment is about. As a matter of fact, on page 2, the indictment says the president, sitting in the office, had all sorts of free speech rights. And he had all those rights, and they would never be encroached upon unless he took actions that, when taken together and viewed in context, tried to defraud the country of what it deserved. Two things: a peaceful transfer of power and that every legally cast vote be respected and not be disenfranchised. And the indictment says the former president, not just with his speech, but with his actions, tried to undermine both, and therefore both of those attempts are subject to criminal prosecution.
And Major, you bring up the former Vice President Mike Pence, and now he is sort of the rival for the Republican nomination with former President Trump. Obviously in office as all this stuff was going on, these allegations toward the former president. He's at the center of a very weird moment in time here. Yeah. What role does he play in all of this?
He's central in this incredibly strange moment. Former President of the United States seeking the presidency again. It's only happened once. Grover Cleveland did it in 1892. So we've seen that before, but we've never seen a former vice president to the man seeking the presidency again being a fact witness in a felony case against the former president, who he's also challenging for the nomination of his party in the next presidential election. I mean, it's beyond strange. It's beyond anything we have ever witnessed before in American history. And as a fact witness, it is clear that the former vice president not only offered testimony once he was ordered by a court to do so, he provided contemporaneous notes of his own sense of what the former president was asking and the legal checks he made to see if anything the former president was asking him to do was in fact legal. And when he challenged John Eastman, the former president's lawyer who had this unique and completely unconstitutional theory, if he thought it was legal, he said, no, it's never been tested. And then later said, I'm only asking for a minor violation of election law. What? What do you mean a minor violation of election law? He's the president of the United States. Carrying that out, by definition, makes it not minor, makes it very significant. And Pence ran all those traps. And now he almost feels like he's liberated on the campaign. He's saying things more aggressive than he ever has before about the former president. It's like this indictment has unleashed him. We'll see what political effect that has, but it has a fact effect, and it will have a real effect once this case goes to trial, because believe me, it will.
I want to ask you about the political effect, because respected politician, proven conservative track record. He's barely a blip in the polls. He can't
Barely
get
a
any
blip.
traction at all. And I talk to people here in Wisconsin, which is a very purple state, and they view him still, many people do, as a traitor and don't like him. Has he been irreparably damaged by his hard stance on Donald Trump?
Certainly not irreparably, because that means forever. And we have a history that we're living through right now with former President Trump, and we have a history lived with him as president. There will come a day when we will no longer live with that political history. So anything that is said now in a negative way about anyone who challenged former President Trump will be viewed differently later. I don't believe anyone who challenges former President Trump on any grounds, policy, politics, or anything else, is irreparably harmed, because the former president, for a lot of reasons, is unique and not always positively unique, and I'm being diplomatic. But to your point, John, the former vice president is viewed as this antagonist to the former president. For that, I don't have an explanation. He wasn't an antagonist. He was asked to do something illegal against the Constitution, and he resisted. Wouldn't, as a Republican or as a Democrat, you want someone in high office to do precisely that? Resist pressure to do something illegal and to undermine the Constitution? The America I grew up in, the America I love, said, yes, we don't want anyone to do anything illegal in a political position or undermine the Constitution. That's what Pence did. The record is clear on that. It's not ambivalent or ambiguous. And yet, he's reviled because he stood up to the former president. And that's something the Republican Party has laced within it right now. How long that will last, I don't know. But it's going to get a good test, either from Mike Pence or others like Will Hurd or Chris Christie or Asa Hutchinson, who are not going away and who are going to keep saying this was wrong. And until the Republican Party understands how wrong it was, it's not going to heal itself.
Major, I know you're going to find this shocking, but Fox would really like to have the former President Trump in Milwaukee toward the end of August for the debate.
Sure, it would.
Any idea if that is going to happen? Does this indictment complicate matters? Was he even planning on attending before? This still seems like a bit of a mystery.
So I'm going to refer to Kellyanne Conway, who's still very close to the Trump orbit, and said he's going to keep everyone guessing. Hello, what does he always do on matters of this nature? Keep everyone guessing, make sure he is as close to the dead center of any political story that he can be, and continue to overshadow all those who are trying to gain traction against him. Even if he doesn't show up at the debate, he won't make that clear until the very last minute, thereby dominating the debate anyway, even if he doesn't show up there. That's where we are. That part of the Trump factor is fundamentally real, and all those other Republican challengers both need to hope he's there so they can take a swing at him, and then have a strategy in case he's not, to contextualize why he wasn't there and how they hope to take advantage of it.
I feel like I've asked you the same question 1,000 times, Major, and I don't know what I'm searching for, but to me it's stunning that there are other conservative credentialed candidates and he continues to poll. His number is larger than all of them put together, and yet he's so flawed and so damaged. Why? What is the hold he has?
So I don't have a holistic answer. I mean, an answer in totality. I have an answer in part. And I don't criticize people who are strongly attached to former President Trump, because for him and for them, they are aligned in a sense that America needs, and they need a fighter. They need someone who will speak in rageful terms about things they think are worthy of being enraged about in America, whether that's cultural transformation, economic dislocation, or just a sense of drift. That people in power get things, and people out of power not only don't get things, but are never heard. They wanted that from Romney, didn't get it. Wanted that from McCain, didn't get it. Wanted it from Bush, thought they were going to get it, never got it. Didn't get it from Bush the father. The closest they got was Reagan, but that's a long time ago, dim memory. Trump touches a nerve that they feel is vital to their future in this country. And until someone better, a better fighter comes along, a more credible, more resilient fighter comes along, and for like a hot second they thought that might be DeSantis, those days are over, it's going to be Trump. And it's as deeply rooted in their own psychology and sense of self as it is in the Republican Party or conservatism or anything else.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Check out the Takeout podcast. It's heard here on Saturdays on WTMJ, and the book is The Big Truth. Major, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Always a pleasure, John. Thank you.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ. Business headlines are sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Check out thepfisterhotel.com.
Vendors Knockbox, Toro Tacos and Bowls, and On Rye open at the Associated Bank River Center in downtown Milwaukee. A fourth concept called Vault Bar is expected to open later this month. EQT Exeter acquires 6 properties in southeast Wisconsin totaling 460,000 square feet. 5 of the buildings are in the Lakeview Corporate Park in Pleasant Prairie, and 1 is at the Grandview Business Park in Sturtevant. And Hibbett plans to open a sporting goods store on Milwaukee's south side. The location is expected to open this year before the holidays. I'm Sari Lesk with Milwaukee BusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Downtown is the heart of the city of Milwaukee. It's where people connect and things happen. Hi, I'm Nancy Hernandez, president of the Hispanic Collaborative. Our ongoing efforts to improve and strengthen our Milwaukee's growing Latino community and become a top city for Latinos are boosted by our downtown presence. Plus, our team loves having a pulse on everything happening here. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
The Pfister Hotel is proud to announce a series of renovations now underway that will elevate its guest experience with added elegance, approachable sophistication, and modern amenities that will blend effortlessly with the Pfister's iconic charm. With fully renovated ballrooms and meeting spaces, all new guest rooms in the historic tower, and exciting enhancements to the lobby and other common areas, all phases of this plan are expected to be completed by spring 2024. Milwaukee may have plenty of wonderful hotels, but make no mistake, there is only one Pfister Hotel.
Three Pillars in Dousman is rated the best continuing care community in Wisconsin. Located on 300 beautiful Lake Country acres, it's not just a great place to live, it's an incredible place to work. Three Pillars has career opportunities for RNs and LPNs in assisted living and long-term skilled nursing, with signing bonuses up to $5,000. Be part of the state's top-rated team and make a difference in the lives of others every day. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses throughout Wisconsin. Customer satisfaction is our first and foremost priority. As one of Wisconsin's top 10 insurance agencies and among the top 5% of agents nationwide, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs, from business, commercial to employee benefits. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
Selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showings, the months it takes. But there's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will buy your home today completely as is. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a new lawsuit wants to redraw the maps again.
I'm Greg Nancy. Hey, it's State Fair Eve.
I'm Debbie Loziga. I got a string of accidents now. One on 41 southbound, right about at Good Hope Road, off on the left shoulder. We've got another one right about at Hampton Avenue, off on the right shoulder on southbound 41. We've also got one on 94 westbound at 25th Street, off on the right shoulder, and one off the freeway system. This is on Capitol Drive, just east of Highway 100 or Mayfair Road. The center lane is blocked with an incident there. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 70. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot and humid, a high of 90 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a lawsuit filed today is calling for the state Supreme Court to throw out the GOP-drawn legislative maps.
The lawsuit comes just one day after new Justice Janet Protasewicz was sworn into office, flipping the high court from a conservative to liberal majority. This suit is just one of many that are expected that could force lawmakers to draw yet another set of maps before the 2024 election. It asks the high court to take the case directly rather than have it work through lower courts, arguing the state legislative maps are unconstitutional. The suit does not challenge congressional maps. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
An apartment fire in Greenfield is burning this afternoon. Several units appear to be a total loss after a building caught fire near 61st and Cold Spring. Our partners at TMJ4 News are on the scene. They say crews saw at least 8 windows torched by the flames, which drew a response of multiple Milwaukee Fire Department trucks.
A Glendale police officer charged with possession of child pornography has been fired.
The criminal complaint against Jonathan Engel, who faces 7 charges for possession of child pornography in Waukesha County, alleges he uploaded an image on Reddit, and investigators were able to use the IP address to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived. During an interview with police, Engel stated he had a porn addiction and while seeking videos out would occasionally click links containing child pornography. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office arrested Engel on July 31st. He was fired by the Glendale Department the same day. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, Congressman Brian Stile is asking Capitol Police about surveillance footage from an incident in the Capitol Rotunda involving Congressman Derek Van Orden. Van Orden is said to have cursed at a group of teenage Senate pages last month. Stile oversees the Capitol Police as chair of the House Administration Committee. He tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that he requested input from police due to the footage in question involving minors employed by the Senate. The request came after fellow Congressman Mark Pocan, a Democrat, called on Stile to release footage from the incident.
A ferry carrying traffic across Lake Michigan from Manitowoc has suspended trips indefinitely after a mechanical failure of its ramping system. Lake Michigan Car Ferry, which owns and operates the SS Badger from Manitowoc to Ludington, says it's engaged a quick response team of Great Lakes partners, and they're assessing the situation. The Badger was built in 1953 in Sturgeon Bay and can now accommodate 600 passengers and 180 vehicles, including RVs, motorcycles, motor coaches, and commercial trucks.
Well, almost time to get your cream puff on. That's right. State Fair prepares to kick off Thursday morning. Security top of mind for many after recent incidents at events in Milwaukee over the summer. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris tells Wisconsin's Morning News the difference between events that have no problems versus those that do comes down to policies geared towards safety versus attendance numbers.
Sometimes money tends to drive what they do. And so if you want more people, so your attendance will be up this year, at the end, you kind of just come up with ways to get people in the door, but you don't really have the force to really handle a crowd that
In June, Greek Fest enacted early closures due to fighting, and at the Juneteenth celebration, shots rang out after the official event had concluded.
Brewers lose a tough one in the nation's capital. 2 errors in the ninth inning crushed the Crew at a 3-2 loss. A 4-game set with the Pirates begins tomorrow night, and the NFL's preseason begins tomorrow as well with the Jets taking on the Browns. Aaron Rodgers will not play.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:04.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor services all makes and models and carries high-performance compressors with a lifetime warranty. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzek.
On July 26th, less than 1 week until Major League Baseball's trade deadline, the Brewers made a subtle move, placing struggling designated hitter Jesse Winker on the injured list with back spasms. Well, to me, the move was nothing more than a stall tactic used by general manager Matt Arnold in advance of the trade deadline. In an attempt to upgrade the offense, Arnold acquired 2 position players who represent an upgrade in the designated hitter role and are more than capable in the field, all in the last week. So what's the path to playing time for Winker, a designated hitter, batting .199, who's a net negative in the field? Well, there is no path. Had Arnold been unsuccessful in his attempt to fortify the Brewers' offense, Winker may still have a path to limited at-bats. Well, he doesn't anymore. Jesse Winker's time in Milwaukee is over. Eligible to return to action this weekend, my belief is that Winker will be thanked for his service and released.
Extra Points is sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
Did you know that the Inflation Reduction Act can save you thousands on energy-efficient updates like new insulation, siding, windows, and more? And these dollars are in addition to Focus on Energy rebates. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and S&E Insulation. As Department of Energy Century Club Award winners, my team has the proven skills and experience to help you take advantage of these unprecedented incentives. Get started at allrite remodeling.com.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher.
Boy, you just never know when or where you're going to pop up. This time, it's my house.
Can I come in?
You're already standing in my living room.
Ah, Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
Oh, yeah. It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Heads up, here comes that wasp again. Incoming!
Shoo! You need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens. They fit inside the actual window and protect you from nature.
Okay, now that's just brilliant. Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
You got anything to drink around here?
Yeah, just go right ahead and make yourself at home, I guess.
Ooh, root beer.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, bundle and save. Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue. Featuring acts like Kids from Wisconsin, Here Come the Mummies, and Pat McCurdy, Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 3rd and the 13th. Member FDIC.
I've been living with a snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by Big Box Healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. What's that sound?
That's the sweet sound of you, small business owner, not having to worry about cybersecurity.
Sounds nice.
U.S. Cellular is offering cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99 per line.
Does that include protection from phishing?
Of course, unless you mean like the kind. Get cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99. U.S. Cellular, built for business, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
A big anniversary diamond is one twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, happy Wednesday, or as Greg likes to call it, Big Hump Day. It is 5:10. Hope your day's going great. We are at the Wisconsin State Fair tomorrow. We can't wait to broadcast live from the Wisconsin State Fair. Yesterday, it was Sporky's Day and Drinkies Day. Sporky's, you know, this is their 10th anniversary. Hard to believe they've been doing this for 10 years, and they have a couple winners. And Drinkies, they had 4 finalists, and only one was awarded a first place. And it sounds like you're mixing up something good over there. What is that?
Yeah, the Ferris Mule. It has nothing to do with actual donkeys or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I looked that up. Thank
God, that's good.
So the Ferris Mule was the Drinky Award winner. So this is like a non-alcoholic drink, and that's part of the Drinkies.
Yeah,
it's a new thing, right? But it's a non-alcoholic drink, and I wanted to see if we could recreate it here on the program.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic.
So this is why we stream the program now. Like if you're watching along on YouTube, you can see me muddling blackberries
That looks
into
great.
this silver cup like you might find at the Kentucky Derby.
That looks absolutely fantastic. There were 4 finalists. This is sold at the Old Fashioned Sipper Club. What a cute name for a place, the Sipper Club. All right, so lead us through the ingredients. What do we got there?
Well, all right. So first of all, it's fresh blackberries. So I'm muddling fresh blackberries and freshly squeezed lime juice.
Awesome.
Into this silver tumbler, which is great. Now, I didn't have agave nectar, so I'm substituting honey.
Perfect.
But it's going to work. I think that's going to give you the desired sweetness that you're looking for. And then what we're going to do is going to mix it up really nice. I'm going to add a little ginger beer.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to pour the whole concoction over ice.
I like that.
And I'm going to put a sprig of rosemary in it and a lime wheel.
Ooh, that's
think
nice.
about that?
You got all the ingredients.
I do have everything
You're quite the
here.
bartender over there.
Now, I don't really have the ability to shake. I didn't bring a cocktail shaker. I kind of failed on that.
Unless you're just mixing it. That's good.
But I think if we can get the honey nicely mixed, I think it'll provide you what you're looking for.
So normally if you're making this at home, you would shake it. This would be a cocktail shaker drink?
Yes, definitely. Definitely one you want to shake because that gets the honey agitated the way you need to agitate it, gets it mixed up. You could also make like a honey simple syrup if you wanted to go that route. So cup of honey, cup of water, put it all together, boil it, and make like a honey simple syrup.
Ooh, that looks good.
I've got one made over here. I want to get a second one because I want Tony to try it too. Tony, you want to come and grab one?
Yo, definitely. I was just going to point out, I don't know if we've ever seen Matzik more in his element than he is. You just dropped the word agitate when talking about preparing a drink. You're muddling, you're agitating, you substituted honey for agave nectar. I'm very curious about that, by the way.
This is
Like,
real.
Bro, this
if
is
you've
your
ever been
thing.
to his house, he is a serious cocktail maker. And whenever I go to his house, it's like craft cocktails, which I'm waiting for the next invite.
I love this. Matzik came prepared, got garnishes, was chopping limes earlier.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Rolling the limes out. Like, this is the side of you that people do not get to see.
It is a lot of fun here. You want one of these things?
Yeah, I'm
I do. Come on in. Right. Well, I got 2 made here. I'm going to put a lime wedge in Tony's here.
Look at that. That is fantastic.
Get
You
that
can see the
squeezed.
live stream at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ YouTube channel.
There you go.
So you can check it out on there. All right, let me come get that. Ooh, that's beautiful. Oh, my gosh. Look at this, Tony. Cheers.
So it should be slightly sweet, right? You're going to get a little tartness from the lime. I don't know what the rosemary does other than make it look nice. The blackberries are very much in season right now. Blackberries are fantastic.
That's good. It's like a mixture of tart and sweet.
My view on this is not complicated. This is blackberries and freshly squeezed lime juice in a cup. Just muddle it like you would an old-fashioned.
That smells great, too.
Add equal parts honey to your lime. So if you do 4 tablespoons of lime juice, do 4 tablespoons of honey. Drop in 3 blackberries, add your ginger beer, pour it over ice, sprig it with rosemary and a lime.
That's so good.
I haven't made myself one yet.
I know
When do
we
make
have the
myself
winner.
one?
Like, really good.
That's really, really good. It's
Is it good?
refreshing.
So
I have not tried it yet.
last week, I was making you guys drinks, maybe a couple weeks ago, on the anniversary of Giannis ordering the Sprite and lemonade from the restaurant. And, like, I thought that was good, 50-50 mix.
liked it.
Everyone was happy.
Yep.
Whole
new
then
level.
Matzik comes out here and does a food channel expo for us.
Yeah, this
and
is
just-
next
Well,
level.
it's
this
next
is
level, but hey,
unbelievable.
so is everything at the state fair. So like this is sort of in honor of our yearly pilgrimage to the state fair. This is one of those drinks we can enjoy. Now, here's what I want to do, John, because you and I will be there tomorrow.
Yes,
we'll be there for
yes.
the duration of the
That's
fair.
right.
We're going to have to get an actual one of these and see
Ooh,
if we
compare
can
it.
compare and contrast.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
We'll have to see what stacks up here.
You
What
killed
works.
it, my man.
Will you be honest with him, Mercure?
I
like,
will.
If the
I
one
have to be.
tomorrow,
You can be.
it
No, I
just
prefer you be
blows
because
it
it'll
away.
allow me to make it better.
I will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, let's try and figure out the proper rum or vodka or whatever to put into this.
I vote
If
for
you don't
that.
wanna go that
What's
route.
the little spiciness? It's got a little
That's
kick.
the ginger
Is that
beer.
the ginger beer?
That's the ginger beer. So ginger beer is non-alcoholic. It's great for a Moscow Mule. It's like maybe the staple ingredient in a good Moscow Mule. But I find you can put it in a variety of different things. It's really good on its own, too.
You killed it. You crushed it, Matzik. Make yourself one.
Enjoy!
It's 5:15 at WTMJ. Ooh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Let me tell you a little bit about one of the places that I've really learned to appreciate and trust. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission at Azura is simple: to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. It's Azura. Compassion, empathy, that's what they're all about. 14 locations, 4 in the Milwaukee area. I've been in their places. I see how they treat their patients. They're fantastic. If you have a family member, someone you love that needs memory care, it's Azura all the way. When someone in my family needs it, I'm telling you, they're going to Azura. When I need it down the road, I want to be in Azura. Wisconsin-based, family-owned, they care. I just love the feeling when I'm in their places. It's all about the empathy and the compassion. It's AzuraLiving.com. Check it out. Multiple locations, including Fox Point, Brookfield, Oak Creek, and Oconomowoc. Check them out. AzuraLiving.com.
Hi, it's Brian Noonan from WTMJ Nights. I've got some big news. Starting now, you can download WTMJ Nights wherever you get your podcasts. That's right, you can enjoy our nighttime fun anytime you want. Find WTMJ Nights on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Local news, national stories, random silliness. You get a bit of everything on WTMJ Nights. So join me, Brian Noonan, weeknights from 6 to 9 here on WTMJ, the WTMJ mobile app, or wherever you get your podcasts. WTMJ Nights. Listen whenever and wherever you want.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
You're gonna love it, you're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With Rhino Shield ceramic coating, never paint your house again. Rhino Shield will keep 100% of the rain and 90% of the heat from penetrating your house. And it looks just like paint, but will last 5 times longer, and it's guaranteed for 25 years. Rhino Shield comes in any color. Get started today at rhinoshield.wis.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Well, looks like we've got a string of accidents to deal with right now. We've got southbound on 41 at Good Hope Road on the left shoulder. Then at Hampton Avenue on the right shoulder, another accident there. And then one more on 94 westbound right about at 25th Street. That one's off on the right shoulder as well. All these areas have very localized delays right there. There's another issue along Capitol Drive right near Highway 100. Looks like at least 1 or 2 center lanes are blocked on eastbound Capitol Drive because of an incident there. So just be prepared for the delays through that area. They're pretty extensive, although you can get through that whole area. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Let's just do a couple days. How about tonight? Humid, a low of 69. Good night to close the windows, turn the AC back on, because it leads into tomorrow, which is sunny, hot, and humid. Maybe a pop-up shower, but it's going to be hot. That's going to be the headline tomorrow. Our first day at the Wisconsin State Fair, going to be 90 degrees. Right now it's sunny and 83. I got to get something off my chest. I want to tell you a story here from Milwaukee, and as is all too often the case, this is not a great story. So the story is about 2 men. One of them is named Amarty Stotts, who's 30 years old. The other is named Dale Young. He was 48 years old. So Dale Young was a basketball coach in our community, longtime mentor, community leader, AAU basketball coach, well known in the community. So here's what police say happened. Police say that an incident with these 2 men started when Young, he's the 48-year-old coach, was at his niece's house as her ex-boyfriend was moving out. Young called the ex-boyfriend a stupid dude. They got in an argument, and they were shouting at each other, and Young, the coach, called the ex-boyfriend a stupid dude. Young and the ex-boyfriend then argued. The ex-boyfriend told investigators that Young, the coach, retrieved a firearm from his van. It got very heated. He then told the niece, "Your uncle's going to get effed up for pulling a gun on me." Young put the gun away and he drove off. So the Young boyfriend was upset that he had the gun pulled on him. He called this guy, Amari Stotts, who was his friend and coworker, and said, "Hey, dude just pulled a gun on me." So guess what? The criminal complaint says Amari Stotts hunted down Young. Young was in a white van, drove up and fired more than a dozen rounds into Young's van. Young was struck 15 times in broad daylight. He fell out of the van and he was dead. He was killed. So one guy shoots another guy in broad daylight and drives off. The shooter, the alleged shooter, Amari Stotts, was located and charged with first-degree reckless homicide. So they take him into custody. He's booked, goes through the court system. And the judge in this case gave him $75,000 cash bail. It was actually a court commissioner, I believe. The court commissioner in this case gave him a $75,000 cash bail. Well, guess what? He made bail. So the guy's out walking around. And it doesn't just stop there. Not only did the court commissioner give him an attainable bail, he said, if you make cash bail, you will not be required to even wear a GPS monitoring device. So Amari Stotts shoots Dale Young 15 times, according to police, and kills him. He's out now walking around our city after being able to post bail. Someone charged with first-degree reckless homicide and is an apparent violent, heinous criminal should never be out on bail. Never. Part of our justice system is that people charged with low-level crimes have the opportunity to make bail and post bond and to get out. If the allegation is you shot somebody 15 times, you should not be out. You should sit in that damn jail cell until your trial. Is he a flight risk? One of the things they consider is somebody a flight risk? I would argue that if you're facing life in prison, you are a flight risk. If you've shot somebody 15 times and you know you're going away for the rest of your life, it enters your mind, doesn't it? I could leave. I could get out of here. I could go to Chicago or out of state, and you're an inherent flight risk. Putting people out after they murder somebody apparently does lead to them committing other murders. There are examples of this. I just found one in South Carolina. Okay, someone made bail, like Amari Stotts, after being accused of murder. They got out and they killed somebody else. If we let people out that have allegedly shot somebody 15 times in cold blood in the middle of the day, why do we even have a bail system? And if you're going to let them out, how can you not make them wear a GPS monitoring device? We have no idea where this guy is, what he's doing. He clearly has a propensity to violence. Police say he shot somebody 15 times. Who's next? The niece who called Dale, her uncle, over to help her out? I just don't understand this. I just have a real problem with this.
I have all the facts from this story just from what you read. So in hearing all of those things, John, is there like a precedent for this? For one, my two questions would be the precedent for, it seems like a very low bail.
Yep.
$75,000 is not that much. And then two, just be able to get out so quickly with no GPS tracker. It just seems like a very weird, like, are there some circumstances here that we're not aware of? It just seems very odd.
Maybe, the court records don't dictate why the judge set that low bail. Prosecutors fought against that. They wanted a higher bail. And the judges and court commissioners have incredible discretion in our system. Darrell Brooks, the guy who ran over people in the Waukesha Christmas Parade, was out on $1,000 bond at the time, and he had been charged with violent crimes, was out on $1,000. The system is broken. I think reform needs to take place where if you're charged with certain crimes, you're not eligible for bail, and you're not eligible for bond. I'm not talking about a marijuana possession, or if you are charged with killing somebody, I cannot understand what the argument is for ever letting those people out before trial, because they're not all let out. So it's not a law that everybody has to be able to post bond. Why was this guy out? And what's he doing right now at 5:25 on August 2nd instead of sitting in jail? I just don't get it. We got to figure out how to get this fixed. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update on your Wednesday. U.S. credit downgraded today, and man, that meant a not good day for stocks. Across the board, it was red. The S&P 500 is off 63 points to 45.13. The Dow was down 349 to close at 35,282. That's a full percent. The Nasdaq down 2%, dropping 310 points today. The Russell 2000 was off 27 points. Crude oil down on the day. Gold down, silver down. The 10-year Treasury bond, the only green on the board, up almost 1%. It's Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Heart failure or congestive heart failure develops when the heart is not pumping as well as it should and can no longer meet the body's needs. It is a serious condition. However, treatment options are available. Here to tell us more is Dr. Nunzio Gaianello, an advanced heart failure and transplant cardiologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Doctor, first of all, thanks for being with us. What are some of the symptoms of heart failure?
So easy symptoms to look into are shortness of breath when you're exerting yourself. Swelling in the legs is another common symptom, and waking up short of breath at night, sort of gasping for air, might be signs that the pressures in your heart are elevated.
Doctor, what are the risk factors for heart failure?
So there's multiple risk factors for heart failure. Aging, unfortunately, is just one of them. 20% of the population over age 80 years old will get heart failure. The other common causes of heart failure are coronary artery disease or blockages in the arteries of your heart. Other things can be diabetes. Some patients are predisposed and can have a genetic predisposition to having heart failure. And then there's also valvular diseases and problems with valves that can ultimately lead to heart failure as well.
Doctor, for somebody who presents with heart failure, can we talk about the treatment progression that a typical patient might go through?
Absolutely. Initially, all patients would come to a clinic for an assessment. We would make sure that they're on the appropriate medications, and normally there's 4 disease-modifying drugs out there that improve survival and quality of life for patients with heart failure. What we can do is do an implantable device where we can do remote monitoring of patients. Some patients, unfortunately, progress in their disease process, and the medications may not make them feel better, and they may potentially get worse or progress in their disease process. In that case, start an evaluation for what we call advanced therapies or surgical interventions for heart failure.
Doctor, thanks so much for being with us today. Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting Froedtert.com/heart.
Grandview buys homes. Hi, I'm Tom Detlich. Do you want to sell your home but dread the time and the cost to do the repairs? Hate the idea of showing your home to strangers day and night? Is the stress of the months it takes to sell your home just too much to take? And if that isn't enough stress, what are you going to do with the 20 years of belongings you've accumulated? Selling your home doesn't have to be so darn difficult, so painfully stressful, or take so long. There's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation, guaranteed, fair cash offer in as little as 48 hours. We buy your home completely as is. No repairs whatsoever. And we close on the day you choose. Take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. Grandview Homes is A+ accredited with the Better Business Bureau. See what our customers are saying about us on the BBB website. Sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business? Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent. SmartSpacesWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley.
And I'm Debbie Loziga, southbound on 41, still dealing with an accident right about at Good Hope Road. The rest of the accidents, one at Hampton, the one on Capitol Drive, and the one on 94 westbound at 25th Street, all of those have cleared up. We're just left over with some delays. Westbound 94 slowing down from about 25th Street through the stadium, the eastbound side heavy from before 84th Street all the way to about 27th. Southbound on 43 slowing from Silver Spring pretty much all the way down to about Locust, and then back on the brakes through the Marquette over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot and humid. A scattered thunderstorm possible later in the day, a high of 90 degrees. It is 83 degrees in Milwaukee at 5:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a new lawsuit calling for the Wisconsin Supreme Court to throw out the GOP-drawn legislative maps. That suit alleging that the current lines are unconstitutional and create more Republican seats unfairly. Mark Gaber is with the Campaign Legal Center. He says Wisconsin voters are currently not being represented.
The right to have a free government that is elected with the consent of the governed and not with the consent of a legislature that happened to win 13 years ago.
The suit comes a day after the state Supreme Court flipped from a conservative to liberal majority. Republican Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu accusing Democrats of, quote, coming to collect from the newly elected liberal Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasevich. An apartment fire in Greenfield burning this afternoon. Several units appear to be a total loss after an apartment building caught fire near 61st and Cold Spring. Our partners at TMJ4 News are on the scene. They say their crews saw at least 8 windows torched by the flames at this building. Major damage at this apartment complex. One person in the hospital, another is displaced after a house explosion in Sheboygan on Tuesday night. Around 10:30, the Sheboygan Fire Department was requested to assist Sheboygan police with a woman in a house who was having a mental health crisis. Officers were attempting to contact her. She had locked herself inside the house. Additional officers were working to secure neighboring homes when the house exploded. The fire quickly extinguished. The woman was given life support by paramedics on the scene, rushed to the hospital. The house has been ruled uninhabitable. A resident who was not home has been reunited with their 2 cats who survived the explosion and is being assisted by the Red Cross. A Glendale police officer with charges pending on possession of child pornography has been fired.
The criminal complaint against Jonathan Engel, who faces 7 charges for possession of child pornography in Waukesha County, alleges he uploaded an image on Reddit, and investigators were able to use the IP address to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived. During an interview with police, Engel stated he had a porn addiction and while seeking videos out would occasionally click links containing child pornography. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office arrested Engel on July 31st. He was fired by the Glendale Department the same day. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
As the Wisconsin State Fair prepares to kick off Thursday, security will be top of mind for many after recent incidents at events in the Milwaukee area this summer. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris telling Wisconsin's Morning News the difference between events that have no problems versus those that do comes down to policies geared towards safety versus policies geared towards attendance numbers.
Sometimes money tends to drive what they do. And so if you want more people, so your attendance will be up this year, at the end, you kind of just come up with ways to get people in the door, but you don't really have the force to really handle a crowd that big.
In June, Greek Fest ended early early closures due to fighting at the festival, and at the Juneteenth celebration, shots rang out after the official event had concluded, but still during the celebrations. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News. Time is 5:34.
Traffic is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here, inviting you to connect with summer and drive inspired in a new Mazda or Mazda-certified pre-owned model from Holiday in Fond du Lac. It's the destination to gear up for your journey, score enticing offers, get more for your trade, all while enjoying Team Holiday's genuine guest care and simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over, and I'm one of them. Explore all that's new, including the first ever Mazda CX-90, and treat yourself to a test drive at Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer. It's #1 Mazda certified pre-owned dealer and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, recognizing excellence. Accolades are per Mazda North American Operations Performance and Zone Sales Records for 2022. With selection growing daily, you can choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. Find yours and discover the difference during the Season of Discovery sales event at Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue. Featuring acts like Kids from Wisconsin, Here Come the Mummies, and Pat McCurdy, Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 3rd and the 13th. Member FDIC.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Hey, coming up in just a couple of minutes, Vince Vitrano is with us. Vitrano's throwing out the first pitch tonight. He's going to join us before we do that. I hear in the building he's nervous.
He's very nervous.
Yeah. I get that. When I threw out the first pitch at Miller Park, I don't really get nervous. I think that may be the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
That is a for sure all eyes on you kind of thing.
Yep.
Right? People say, well, John, you were on TV. Yeah, but you don't have 30,000 people staring at you like that. You can see are staring at you. It's a little different.
I mean, everybody literally is, and it's you've done it, and I felt the pressure. Get it there. Get it there at all costs. Don't bounce it. And then it's almost like the more you tell yourself that, you put the pressure on yourself.
Right.
Get it there.
So here's the other thing, and I did not bring this up to Vinny. It is much more challenging to throw a baseball without a glove on your other hand.
Yep.
That's one of those
right?
weird things. Like sometimes you grab a ball, and it's a foul ball, your nephew's baseball tournament, you just kind of chuck it back, but you never deliver a pitch.
Yep.
Unless you've got a glove on your other hand. So that in itself. So he was out there playing catch the other day. Dude, you got to take the mitt off. Take the mitt off and throw a couple. It's a different game.
Because it's completely different.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll catch up with Vinny coming up here in just a couple of minutes. One of Vinny's good friends is our good friend Brian Niznansky, chief meteorologist at TMJ4, who is with us. Niz, we were just talking about Vitrano's throwing out the first pitch at the Chinooks game tonight, and he is a wreck.
I talked to him about it. I think it was Tuesday morning. Yeah, we had talked about it or whatever, and he was a wreck then. Come on, man. It's the Chinooks game. Just get out there and throw the darn ball.
Because you just did it at the Chinooks game, right?
I did. And it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I had to do it live on TV, too, and it was kind of spur of the moment. Like, I don't know. I think whoever was supposed to do it maybe bailed or something. They were like, "Hey, do you want to throw the first pitch?" I said, "Well, I gotta check with my producer at what time." And the way it worked out is I did it while I was live on TV. I walked out there, so the only awkwardness was I'm like talking to a camera and like talking, whereas people in the audience probably don't really realize what the heck's going on. It was, but I threw a heater. It was up and in, but
yeah,
it was a
you
heater.
did.
You're a good athlete, so we knew you'd do all right.
I checked with the catcher at first. I said, "Do you want me to just kind of like toss it, or like, are you getting down or whatever?" And he was like a 20-year-old Chinooks player, so he was like, "Yeah, man, bring it.
Bring it. What do you got? What do you got, old man?"
Exactly. So I went and I cut in line at there's like a little kiddie toss thing by the inflatable slides and stuff where kids are throwing the baseball. So I asked the kid, I gave the kid like a voucher for like a hot dog or something so I can cut in line so I can get some practice tosses in.
That's
I didn't want to
hilarious.
throw an arm out. Yeah, and it worked out all right.
All right, I got a note here from Vitrano. He just sent me a note. Because I just sent him a text saying, "Hey, P.S., throwing a pitch without a glove on your other hand is strange. Practice that." And he said, "I actually brought my glove. Would that be corny to bring out?" Yeah, you cannot wear a glove. You can't do that. No.
Text him back. That's
absolutely
a no-go.
Cannot do that.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
He literally in the back of his head, somewhere in that head of his, he's thinking he's going to get called up tonight. He thinks he's going to get his number called to go pitch hit or something. Not happening.
Oh man,
loosen it up. Yeah, is he going to wear his uniform? Is he going to wear a uniform?
Yeah, right. Text him that.
Cleats.
Tosa East uniform.
Exactly, with cleats. He's going to wear his Tosa East red and black cleats.
Oh,
that's hilarious, Niz.
At least he's got a nice night.
We'll see how it goes. What time? I wasn't there. What time? Probably pretty soon. I think it's probably like 6:30 start.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, if I can get through
I
this
think that's
test,
right.
I can race up there and heckle him.
Oh my God, Niz, that would be so good.
He's going to have a great night to do it, though, Niz. Beautiful night.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a little bit on the humid side, but a good evening. Temperatures are in the lower 80s. You may have noticed that humidity's back, and it'll be with us through tomorrow. I think we're in for a pretty hot and humid first day of State Fair, going with the temperature around 90 tomorrow, and then when you factor in the humidity, maybe like some lower and middle 90s for heat index values.
So are you guys going to be out at the State Fair?
Yeah, we will be. I'll be off tomorrow, but Kristen Kershane will be out there tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'm not sure, and we'll be out there sporadically throughout, the State Fair time. That's for sure. Usually they place us. We're like kind of right in the middle of things. We're kind of by like where the Cream Puff Barn is.
Yeah, you're right by us. We're in that guest services pavilion, which is across the street from Central Park, the Cream Puff thing, and right near the Expo Center.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so come on, check us out. I think I'll be out there sometime next week. But yeah, no, I'm making a run for it these next couple days.
Well, it's good. Gotta get in the summer, especially with your kids while you can.
Absolutely, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's August already. We're already starting the back to school shopping and stuff. Like the fall sports are, just around the corner, and before you know it, man, leaves will be changing.
All right, so lead us through with some detail, please, what it looks like tonight and then maybe the next few days.
Sure. Yeah, partly cloudy tonight. Low temperature around 70, so pretty muggy. You'll want your AC tonight if you have it. Mostly sunny, scattered storms tomorrow afternoon. Really hit and miss. If you are going to State Fair tomorrow, I think it's a case where just kind of keep an eye on the sky, keep tabs on the radar. Think of like your place where you're going to duck for cover if you get like a 10-minute downpour. I think the best chance for us here in Milwaukee and out towards State Fair will be maybe around 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. High temperature around 90 degrees. And then on Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 82, so much better. And then Saturday, partly cloudy with a high of 81. There's a chance of storms moving in Saturday evening again. And then Sunday, that's the day that if you do have State Fair plans, you really want to stay up with the forecast. Sunday is the day that I think we could have a widespread rain event, like rainy most of the day type of thing. So just stay up with the forecast for Sunday.
Yeah, too bad it's Sunday, but we still need some rain, right? Are we still in a deficit?
Yep, we are in a deficit going back to April still. We still could use a good dose of rain. I would anticipate most of southeastern Wisconsin after we got some rainfall about a week ago and then on Friday again, last Friday. So I would anticipate maybe a little improvement in the drought monitor when it comes out tomorrow morning, but still going to be in the drought territory.
All right, meteorologist Brian Nisnansky, thanks so much, Niz. We appreciate it.
Yep, we'll see you guys later.
I'm a big Taco Bell guy. I hear there's Taco Bell news today. Is that rumor true?
I think you're going to be okay, John. But as a,
I'm worried now.
I don't know how frequent you are with the Taco Bell drive-through.
When Michelle's out of town, that's where I go.
Okay, so occasionally. Well, she's out of town this week, right?
I went last week.
You did. What did you get?
I got 2 hard-shell tacos and a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Okay.
And a tostada.
You got the Crunchwrap Supreme.
It's one of my favorite things.
Maybe you have been lured in by the advertising of the Crunchwrap Supreme, which I also find to be delightful.
I do.
So Taco Bell is being accused of false advertising, allegedly skimping on fillings. And at the center of it all is the Crunchwrap Supreme. But we've all seen this before, right? You watch the TV commercial, and everything looks perfect.
Absolutely.
And the sour cream is probably not even real sour cream.
Right.
They do whatever they have to do to get you to go to your car and make the drive. Run for the border, John.
And it worked. It worked. It looked delicious.
Well, I don't think it's a shock, but the Crunchwrap Supreme that they display in the picture, which I don't know, is about the width of Blue Mound Road.
Mine did not look like that.
Okay,
are you serious?
This is giant.
No. You could have fit 3 of mine inside of that.
Yes. Okay, so this is the problem, according to the lawsuit, that this is unfair and it's deceptive. Those are the words being used in the lawsuit. Rising food prices, things are going up, and all of a sudden, the real Crunchwrap Supreme, which is outlined also in a series of pictures,
oh, that's sad.
Looks a little like a paper plate.
That's so sad.
Right?
Which that's how mine looked, by the way.
So we go from the width of a car tire to the width of a paper plate. So with meat prices, what they are, shrinkflation is a thing due to inflation, right? So Taco Bell is being thrown under the bus here. Multiple claims have come against Taco Bell. It's not the first of its kind.
Is this class action? I want some of this.
Must be. They had the recent thing on the Taco Tuesday trademark as well.
Taco John's they were fighting
That
with.
was recently settled. But yes, if you've ever had that sort of lure to go buy something that looks so appealing on TV, and then you get it in your hands, you're like, what just happened here?
That's not a lawsuit, though.
Well, I wouldn't think that McNuggets that are too hot and don't come with a disclaimer on the box should net somebody $800,000.
That's
but
also
that
not a
happened
lawsuit.
too. But it happened. And somebody was awarded $800,000. This was 3 weeks ago.
All right, guys, here's the thing. Weird that I'm going to side with the billion-dollar corporations here. Leave the fast food restaurants alone. Do not sue them. And here's why. We're the ones who are going to end up paying for it. My sausage McMuffin is now $2.50. If my Doritos Locos Tacos hit $4, I'm going to be upset here. We don't need them losing more money and then raising prices on me. Because guess what? I'm still going to go to these restaurants way too often.
Tony, you're right. That's the problem with all these lawsuits. Whoever you sue, it always is going to get passed on to us.
Right. It's like, taxpayers footing the bill for something,
yeah,
right?
These fat cats aren't going to eat this.
Same idea.
But this stuff is important. The taxpayer
yes,
stuff,
understandable,
blah, blah,
Tony.
blah, whatever. I don't want my McMuffins and my Doritos Locos Taco to go up anymore.
So Taco Bell used to have a 39-cent taco sort of thing. You remember that?
Yeah,
like
sure.
That was like, oh, you kidding me? So you'd go get like 20 of them. Oh, Tony, I'm a child of the 80s and early 90s. And
that has not been recent.
Now is it the cheapest thing, like $2?
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's a standard taco, I think, is $1.79.
Yeah.
And you don't even get a shell. It's like meat on the ground. You have to go pick it up yourself.
They throw it into the paper wrapper
and hand
sweep
it into a dustpan.
But it's so good.
Well, $2.29 if you want the shell.
It is still good. Yeah. I do like Taco Bell.
I do too.
But yes, this is not uncommon, right? You just watch any food ad for any restaurant of any kind, any caliber, and
You're right.
I challenge you to find that exact same presentation at the actual restaurant.
Yeah. It's 546 at WTMJ.
Now this for beautifying your home, right? If your tacos aren't good enough, you might need new siding.
You're right about that.
A lot of reasons why you might need new siding. That weather, too.
Mm-hmm.
Windows, siding, roofing, doors, and more. That is Siding Unlimited. You heard me talk about it for years, and with great reason. They've done a number of projects at our homes over the years. Started with a window project at our old home near State Fair Park. Really classed up our 1953 family-built home. It was beautiful. Pella windows installed in that house. New house was built. LP Smart Side siding was put on by Siding Unlimited. The best products and the best installation teams. That is the perfect marriage. Siding Unlimited, honored by Pella as our Platinum Elite National Certified Contractor of the Year, 3 years in a row. Check them out in Brookfield, owned by brothers Eric and Aaron Brown. I connect with them regularly. We played golf together, as a matter of fact. They're great people, and they're oftentimes on the job as well. Great craftsmen, great people, great company. It's sidingunlimited.com.
Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing. When you own a well pump, air spitting from the faucets, a decrease in fluctuating water pressure, along with silty, gritty, slimy changes in water quality, are all symptoms that your well pump isn't well. At Austin Plumbing, we're well-rounded plumbers. I say that because we're one of the few companies around who can capably diagnose and repair all the symptoms related to well pump and water system problems. You know when your car needs service, right? Maybe it makes unusual noises. It sputters, jerks, seems weak, or stops altogether. That goes for your well pump too. We have all the special equipment needed and the master know-how required to electronically pinpoint the exact cause of your well and water issues. And we'll give you a price up front before any work begins. If your well pump is telling you it's not well, let's nip small problems in the bud before you're out of water and in deep, expensive trouble. Told you we were well-rounded. Austin Plumbing, online at teamaustin.com.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2024 adventure. Explore Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, Japan, Egypt, Vietnam, and South Africa by land or river exclusively with Fox World Travel. Our award-winning experts crafted extraordinary itineraries with Insight Vacations, Globus, Avalon Waterways, Uniworld, and Holland America. Follow your wanderlust. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to start your journey. Let's explore the world together.
Brewers fans, it's me, Dom Cotroneo, host of Brewers Extra Innings, here to tell you that you can now catch Brewers Extra Innings wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, and of course, WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. Every stat, every storyline, and of course, highlights from the games this season following the Brewers all year long. Catch Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank, right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
What's that sound?
That's the sweet sound of you, small business owner, not having to worry about cybersecurity.
Sounds nice.
U.S. Cellular is offering cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99 per line.
Does that include protection from phishing?
Of course, unless you mean like the kind. Get cybersecurity protection with unlimited data for $29.99. U.S. Cellular, built for business, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Need a new bank for your small business? How about an old one? For a limited time, you can earn up to a $500 cash bonus when you open a free or basic business checking account with Old National. So think big when it comes to your small business and choose a bank where relationships and results have mattered for nearly 200 years. Visit a local banking center or learn more at oldnational.com/success today. Complete qualifying activities within 60 days of account opening. $50 minimum initial deposit required. Account must remain open 120 days. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Well, we got some backup still sticking around, specifically southbound 43 from just before Hampton Avenue all the way through the Capitol Drive area. Does not really let up till you get past Locust. The northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe, and then back on the brakes between Good Hope Road and Brown Deer Road. Eastbound 94 dealing with a bit of a backup from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. Starts to let up right around 35th Street. And then on the bypass, we're also seeing some delays basically from Greenfield all the way down past Beloit Road. Eastbound 94, by the way, I just took a look on the map here. It is backed up a bit out of the Gerke's Corners area. And by the time you hit Moreland, it should open right up. You should be okay to the zoo. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, humid, a low of 69. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, humid, maybe a pop-up shower, a high of 90 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 83. Vince Vitrano is the host of Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince, thanks for being with us.
Did you see my baseball card?
You got your own baseball card?
Yeah, except you're wearing like a polo and...
Well, because...
Where's the uniform?
There's no uniform.
What had happened was Dylan Carter, our digital guy here, mocked up a baseball card with me because Pancake and I, who produces our program in the morning, we're out a little soft toss, throwing the ball around, having a catch.
Why?
Just outside the studios here in the
concrete jungle that is downtown Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's fine.
Why are you having a little catch?
Because I'm throwing out the first pitch tonight at the Chinooks game.
Really?
Oh, you're going to mess it up.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
man, see?
Yeah, you're going to bounce it.
I think we lost Vitrano. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll try to get him back, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
He's nervous.
All right, I'm going to try, while we wait on Vitrano, I'm going to try to find something else here that I got on my computer that Eric Bilstead put together. You know whose birthday it is today?
I do, as a matter of fact, and he was in the nation's capital because he had TV duties today. So Jeff Levering, Milwaukee Brewers broadcaster, TV and radio, 40th birthday today.
He's one of the good guys, isn't he?
He absolutely is one of the good guys. Great family. They don't live too far from us, as a matter of fact, in Menominee Falls. All the broadcasters live in Menominee Falls. Did you know that?
That's so amazing.
Euchre, Lane, Levering. Josh Mauer does not, but for what it's worth. So, yeah, 40 today for Jeff Levering.
So here, Eric Bilstead put this together. This is for our guy, Jeff Levering. Happy birthday to you, Jeff.
If I could be a host on WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News, I think that would really be the pinnacle of my career.
You rang. Chorizo by a link, and then, oh, no! Well, Mike Brasso gets to wear the cheese set for the first time. I was in the pool! Bare-hand attempt, throw to first, not in time. Just playing pepper with that one. And he almost Willie Mays hazed it. Ooh. About 100 of these. As he just barges through the radio booth door and goes, "Hey, how about them Cubs?" It's up and down, circular, up and down, circular, around, feeling it, feel the flow. That's exactly what's happening, all facets for the Brewers. Lafferty Daniel, oh man, Santa's upset. He's not happy. Sit down, you're rocking the boat, Santa. Come on. Well, now a youngster just came down the steps and gave him a baseball. That guy's at least 65 years old, and he just took a baseball from a kid.
And the pitch. Nottingham, look out. Look out, Jeff.
Oh, it dropped it.
He tried.
Darn it.
He tried.